Welcome to the 2020 Final Fantasy Randomizer Spring Tournament. It's still week one. We are live right now on Randomania. Exciting, great matches already. So many great matches already this week. We're getting into the thick of things right now. Right now here on Randomania. My name is Wukleosis. I am the infectious one. And I am joined by... oh wow, one of the greatest of all time. If you know Final Fantasy Randomizer, you know this name. He is the one and only. Out of the darkness, out comes Artea. How are you?
Oh, pretty good, sir. I figured, like every once in a while, I like stepping out of my cave and swapping stories about rocks.
It's all...
So, yeah. So I figured it was time to come out of retirement because Brott asked me to commentate on this match. So I figured I'd do him a favor and do it.
He did. Left side of your screen, Artea just referred to Brottster, one of the greats in Final Fantasy Randomizer history. World record holder. We'll get to some of his accolades a little bit later on in the show. And on the right side of your screen, it's xRussianbishop, a Final Fantasy Randomizer tournament first-timer. We've got some information on him coming up. He's a Zelda player as well. Now, party selections. We've got the parties right in front of our screen, Artea. Party draft is optional during this. Swiss flag's going to be 6 weeks of them going on, and they decided to draft. Artea, we've got how it started was Brottster picked a black mage first. Russian Bishop got the next two picks. He picks a fighter and a red mage, and Brottster closed it out with picking another fighter. What do you think about these two parties?
I think there are far too many party members for starters, but I wouldn't be surprised to see either one of these players at least killing one of them off at some point. I'm pretty sure that Brott's going to do it. I have no idea if Russian Bishop will.
And what type of criteria for you would that depend on? What light warrior to let go when? What is your main criteria if you were to do that?
So I just basically go for, do I have a fighter and do I have a black mage, and anything else is just dead weight and just kill off those. But I'm a bit on the crazy side. I would expect Brott to probably kill off either the red mage or the black mage. I prefer the red mage myself because his spell growth is just not that good compared to just funneling XP into the black mage and getting more charges and faster access to higher levels. Of course, if you're starting out with level 1 nuke, it's not as important as if the really good spells like Fast and Temper are much later on.
And we are off. Brottster on the left side of your screen, ex-Russian Bishop on the right side of your screen. The infectious Wukleosis here on the left side of the broadcast booth. Artea, the legend himself, on the right side. Black Magic. Artea just talked about it. There's Temper. That's a lot of Temper charges potentially in level 1 Black Magic, along with a pretty strong spell there. That's Ice 3. That's a strong elemental spell, Artea.
Yeah, he is very good to get carried for the rest of the game. Unfortunately, that life is not going to be seeing any use because it's in the second slot, which means it's locked behind. It's replacing Harm, which is only accessible to white mages.
That's right. That's the original Harm slot.
Yep. So very disappointing to not be able to cast life on either the knight once they class change or that red mage, which right now isn't looking all too hot.
Brottster's already out now to the gates. We're not even at the minute mark, and he's closing on the Temple of Fiends. It looked like a decent run, but there's some safe tiles in there, so we're going to see exactly how that is. And Brottster's going directly to Garland. Garland threatens to knock Brottster down, but Brottster, he knocks down Artie. Artea went right after Artea, but an Ice 3 from, I think that was Will, takes out Garland.
Oh, I'll be back, don't worry about
it. Brottster decides to equip his Skimtars, and he turns around to go for the top two chests.
I question the wisdom of this. I'm all for just bum rush Garland and kill him and get it out of there. But he killed Garland, and now he's walking around the Temple of Fiends, just begging to lose a bunch of time to wiping.
Ice 3 still getting the job done for Brottster. He's down to 3 light warriors. Bish is taking his time a little bit more. He's still hanging out in Canaria. He checked out the item shop as well. He's getting blocked there by, I believe her name is Ariana?
I have no idea.
Bishop's out of there now. There's another Ice 3 from Brottster. He's low on Ice 3s. I think that's his last one. He's got to talk to Princess Sarah and rescue her and get out of here. He does get up to level 4, but he has not saved yet. Oh, He's got no ice 3s left. He's got to run. He's got one left. That's Blaze!
Nope.
Blaze from the Wolves! Oh, Brottster perishes! Russian Bishop takes the lead early.
Well, I wouldn't really say it takes the lead, but that's gotta hurt for Brot. It just comes back to what we say to what I was saying a bit earlier, like a bit of a misplay. But you know, at least he knows what's there, and now he can just beeline Garland and not have to worry about it.
Brottster reusing those ice 3 charges, takes out the imps. He's going to get to level 2 off this one for all 4 of his light warriors. Bishop taking a nice, good, strong approach. He's looks like he's wielding some skimtars. Those are 2 fighters at the top of the screen for Russian Bishop. He's got a different sprite layout. There's Blaze again. Brottster perishes again. He's 2 for 2, Artea.
So it's easy to get frustrated when that happens, but the good news, like there is a silver lining. There's always a silver lining. You're not going to be seeing that later.
As Brottster sees it again, that's 3 wipes in a row for Brottster.
The good news about that, it's on the Wolf. You're not going to be seeing those once you enter Marsh Cave or Earth Cave. If they were on the Gerwolves, then you'd have a bit of an issue because those guys are freaking everywhere.
Bishop runs into the Wolves. The Wolves are not using the Blaze. There it is. Russian Bishop perishes now in the Temple of Fiends. Brottster goes in, digs out a cabin, and saves. Brottster using his experience, starting to adjust.
He really wants that silver armor and that silver axe. I'm not entirely sure why. It's not a bad weapon, but it's not worth wasting this much time on.
I think a Hangry Canuck, who is our tracker today behind the scenes, Hangry Canuck's hanging out right behind us. Thank you very much. Keeping the beer on ice. Thank you very much, Canucky. He's getting bored back there, Artea. Neither player can rescue Garland with Ice 3 or anything like that. Bishop's going to try to make it happen, but he gets stopped by a goal. Brottster's going to try to make it happen now.
Well, it's your turn.
Will dies this time. Garland going after the commentary team. The first time ever that Artea and Will get to work together. Brottster rescues Princess Sarah. He picks up the TNT. A fetch quest item from the King of Canaria, and that's the chime earlier. Princess Sarah hands that over. Russian Bishop takes out Garland. He's right there now. He's going to rescue Princess Sarah. Pick up his TNT and his chime. Couple different places you can go here, Artea. You could turn on the TNT for a key item. You got a couple bucks maybe or something in Matoya's cave. You got Provoca, key item. What are you doing here if you were Brottster or Russian Bishop?
Well, the first thing I notice is really cheap pro rings, so I try to get as much money as possible, as early as possible, before leaving the Intercontinent. So
Okay.
I would definitely just go to Provoca, get the key item out of there just for the XP bonus. I don't even care what the item is, but you get the XP bonus out of it, and you get level 2 magic, and then just beeline Marsh Cave, go get those chests, go get the money out of there, go get whatever's in there, and as an added bonus, if there's something trolly hidden in it, well, you don't have to worry about it either.
Just as Artea said, Russian Bishop goes straight to Provoca. He sees Lock 2, which works every time, Ice 2 and a decent spell at level 2. Also Brack, we're going to talk about that a little bit later. In White Magic, learnable, all those are learnable now by the Knight and the Red Mage / Red Wizard. That is in Viz 2, that's very good. Harm 4 could be okay for utility as well.
It's not a bad spell. There's a surprising amount of undead enemies in this game, actually. It all depends on what the black magic is like, which in this case,
Brottster turns in the Ruby, and Narek hands over, turns in the TNT, and Narek hands over the Ruby. That's going to open up potentially 2 incentivized locations in the Titan's Trove and Sardis Cave. Russian Bishop takes out the pirates, has a little chit-chat with Bicky. Bicky says he's done with it. He hands over the Oxyale. Now, the Oxyale yields the Sea Shrine dungeon. It is required in this game, and that is incentivized this week. It's a dungeon-oriented design here in the Swiss flags. That's going to be incentivized, so that could be looming up a little bit later. We'll see if our players also recross each other. It looks like they are. Brottster's headed towards Provoca.
So, I seriously question the spell purchases on Bishop's side. You have Ice 3 at level 1, and Ice 2 is, while it is a good spell, even if you have access to Ice 3, it's so ridiculously expensive.
Right.
Given what you have right now, I would probably have just saved the money, went for Zap and Brack, which are really good spells as it is, relied more on Ice 3 for the rest of it, and saved the money for Elflin, because that's where you're going next.
I'd also like to thank Dark Moon X, the microphone man. You see him all over TV, all over the broadcasts, and volunteering so much of his precious time to Final Fantasy Randomizer and its community. He's taking care of the restream. He's smiling right now. I can see him smiling, working with us here, as well as the Hangry Canuck. And Bishop is looking for some fights outside
well, he's
of Provoca.
broke. He is
Is he broke?
completely broke. Oh yeah, he's got like 80 gold left.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I was mentioning the Ice 2, because he went flat out broke purchasing both of those.
Brottster now with 1,200 gold. You see him doing a little bit of math. I think he got Zap. It looks like that's what it was. He wants to find out what's in level 2. He'll find the Harm 4 in the Invis 2. What we're looking for, fans, early in the game is, well, the design is 2 loose items. We're going to get to that in a little bit. Right now, front and center is the canal. It is loose. It's not incentivized. It's somewhere in a chest. It cannot come from an NPC or a non-playable character. Potentially on the table is the Batoya's Cave still. There's 3 chests there. We saw Brottster obviously already hit up the Dwarf Cave. Could be there. Could have been there. And then potentially the Marsh Cave. Could be on the table.
Statistically, once you've done Temple of Fiends, it's going to be a Marsh Cave most of the time. But you know, it's a scavenger hunt. It's random. You never know. Could be sitting in Matoya, and you could waste your time in Marsh.
There's Blaze from the Wolves. They've destroyed both players already, especially Brottster. He resets. Great save in the middle there. He runs into the Wolves again. The encounter shuffle rarity, Artea. Looks like it brought in the Wolves. They blaze him down again.
Chat pointing out that Brot skipped Invis, which sounds bad, but really, you really don't need it. He'll be fine. Like, he might go back for it, but it's not ruse.
Bish is right on Brottster's tail. He's headed towards the Matoya's Cave. Brottster finds not much. I think it was a pro cape and a cabin. He's just going to reset. He's going to say, forget it. There's nothing I can sell. There's no money there. He's out of there.
Well, okay, there's nothing I can sell. The pro cape could sell for a lot. That could have been a good leg up to go get level 3 magic.
Brottster's made his way to Elfland. He has no money.
Yeah.
So...
on the other hand, he has no levels either, so it's not like he could be casting level 4 magic going into Marsh either. But I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. Pro Cape either to use or to sell this early. Either one wouldn't necessarily be a bad call. We'll see how that reset goes for him.
Ruse popped in level 3. That's not going to be learnable by either player. However, Cure 4 is in a learnable slot for the Red Mage, as well as Nuke has popped at level 4 for both players who will have 2 characters that are Nuke capable casting once they get the levels. I'd like to welcome some of the fans here that are joining us. It's Falconic, the lone representative of Team Vorpal in the 2020 team tournament. Go Falconic. We've got our free streamer as well. I see a Game Boy F9, one of the proprietors. Welcome to the show. Thank you very much for joining us. As the Wolves fire the blaze again, and Griff survives. I don't think it's going to last very long for Bish. Brottster is already headed towards the Marsh Cave.
I didn't notice if he bought any potions, because that could put a damper on things.
Potions of save items outside. You know what, Artea? You know Brottster quite well. Maybe we'll get into that in just a little bit, but Brottster didn't care. He's just going for it.
Yeah, Brottster doesn't care. No heal potions, no nothing. I got 5 tears. I'm fine.
I got this. I'm from Canada. I can handle it.
Oh, no.
This is a great kind of a global affair that we've got going on right here. Brottster, of course, from the Great White North. Bishop from the East Coast in the United States. Yourself, Artea, from across the pond.
Across the pond, I've been living in Canada for the last 25 years now.
And yours truly, of course, from the Great White Northern Michigan. Brottster has already made it to the top. There's 4 chests here. One of them's length. There's a pro ring. Great hand armor, equipable by any light warrior. Protects against death as well. Squint, Rub, Toxic, and Quad X will give you essential immunity when it's equipped. But You know, if you got to get it out of here, too. There's the pickup of the tent and the soft potions, and there's the canal. Bishop got the tent and the soft potions, and he's going to pick up his ruby that Brottster did earlier. Brottster has already dug out the canal. It's in the top of marsh. That was the progression that we needed.
Yeah, now let's see if he really doesn't care enough to go dive the bottom of Marsh Cave, which could hold some tasty things, if not at least a little bit of money, with absolutely no heal potions or anything. Or if he's just gonna, oh, well, Ice Sword, alright, nah, screw it. I'll
Okay.
just like, yeah, no, peace out of there. Just go. You're good. You got the good out of there.
Leaves the Skimtar and his other fighter. Bishop's headed back. He's going to head towards Elfland. Brottster's going to try to get this out of here. Ice 3 will take out these weak undead enemies if he can get it off. First, he's defenseless, but he gets the Ice 3 off. Quick question from chat. Artea already answered it, but for the viewers that may be watching later on YouTube, was this a party draft? Yes, it was. Brottster with a fighter. Brottster with a black mage. Russian Bishop took a fighter and a red mage, and Brottster came back with another fighter. There's another Ice 3 from Brottster. Going to take out these scums as Bishop heads to Elfland. Does he have any more money than Brottster did? He does. He's got about 2,000 gold.
He was fighting for quite a while, so I'm not surprised that he has a little bit of money coming in, but not going to be enough for level 4 magic. Might be enough to pick up a couple of level 3 spells.
Brottster's very close to getting out of here. Now he get ambushed by the shadows. See if Will can get away from him. No, Artea does for Brottster. Brottster's out. Canal in hand and progression. Brottster gets ambushed by the Geist. A veteran move from Brottster. Knows the encounter table already. Shows he's been playing this game for a long time. Quickly resets. Got a huge run right here. We'll see if he saves, and save scums all his way back to, no he doesn't, to Elfland.
I mean, he probably miscounted or wasn't counted, or like what we... Some of us do just use audio cues. So if you're lagging a little bit behind or you're just not paying attention or whatever, you're going to get into a fight and you're going to be like, oh, I should have used You get a bit frustrated. You're like, I should have used a tent like 2 seconds early.
Brottster's going to sell. Is it the Ice Sword? He thought about it. He thought about it.
Oh, don't do this to me, Brott.
Both players in Elfland now. Brottster heads to the potion shop looking for a vendor item. Not available. Instead, he's going to get some save items and finally get some pure pots.
Yeah, we got Detroit housing prices as well. So this is a pretty nice seed so far.
Game Boy F9, close your ears. We're not talking about Cleveland. Brottster leaves Elfland. Bishop's still looking around. He's preparing himself. He spends all his last money on a house. I can only think that he's going to burn all his spell charges, headed towards the Marsh Cave to get that progression and house up and dive in like that. Meanwhile, Brottster's using that newly found canal. He goes through it. He is now out of the LDC at around the 15-minute mark, and he's headed to Melmond?
Yeah, checking the magic shop to use his no money to not buy spells. I question the wisdom of this decision.
Does find fast. That's red mage learnable. It's life 2. Life 2 is locked to the promoted red mage into a red wizard. The red wizard will have life 2 available in this match.
You're acting like a 4-man party is going to have access to level 5 magic on a red mage. He's going to get like 2 charges. It's not even worth buying at that point.
Full area of effect toxic, death elemental, instant perishment. From, I think that was the Grimps, I'm not sure. Russian Bishop perishes. Oof. Brottster now with the ruby in hand. Looks like he's headed towards the Titan Tunnel.
Hangry pointing out in chat that it was the girl wolves that had the nasty.
Well, the wolves are pretty rough this seed.
We're gonna get an eye on 2 new incentive locations, which unfortunately incentives can be useless things like a Thor hammer, but they could also be progressions. So we have for this week, the left-hand chest in the Titans Tunnel is an incentive location, and then we have Sarda.
It's another pro ring for Brottster. 40,000 gold and a tail. Tail is the incentive item. 5% experience boost in this design per item like that you get. And not progression, but okay. There's the Gerwolves. I don't think he knows they have toxic. He's not going to find out. Brottster makes his way to Sarda. There's the werewolves with toxic. Excuse me. Ice 3 gets off, though. Bishop's down to 2 light warriors. Brottster has the cube. Princess Sarah handed over the chime.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Are
Oh
you?
yeah. Oh yeah.
You are okay.
Oh
All
yeah.
right.
Oh yeah.
Falconic, what do you think?
We're either going to find a giant rock in the sky or we're gonna find a kayak in the sky.
Canuck, the Hanker Canuck in the background, keeping those beers cold for us. Are you with us? If we are, what does that mean to you? Oh, he went to get more beer. Okay, all right, that works. Brottster gets his way back through the Titan's tunnel. He's going to save with his 21 cabins. Oxiel also on the table. The Sea Shrine is an option right here, as is full Mirage Tower and the full floating fortress. Russian Bishop has got his canal now. He's starting to get into this.
It helps if I unmute my mic.
Canuck, what do you think about this? You got the chime early, now you've got the cube. We're not even 20 minutes into this match. What are you thinking?
I'm diving sky. Bulk density of chests. You can get some good levels. Ice 3 is good against the Chimeras. So, I'd be taking sky. Would be on the table.
I would absolutely be on that if you weren't running a 4-man party and weren't level 6 right now.
Right, level 6, yeah. So there you have it, fans, from one of the greatest of all time, the original co-league champion in Artea, as well as the undefeated Hangry Canuck. They want to go that way. Without access to the canoe at this point in time, Earth Cave could be on the table. There's still a vendor item out there. A lot of different things that could be done as Bishop he's going to try to get out of here with that canal. And let's see if he can do it. There's Ice 3 into the Trolls. Looks like Brottster's going to head towards Crescent Lake and the Circle of Sages and their incentivized item. We do know that in order to get the airship and get in the air and change the status quo in this match, the canoe is required, along with the floater itself. So it's a 2-item process. Bishop's closing in. He was on the same encounter table, it looks like. He ran into the shadows just a few steps away. Brottster has made it to Crescent Lake. He checks the item shop. Is there a vendor item here? There is not.
But he's finally got heal pots.
Does finally have heal pots. Bishop runs into some Geis. He's out of the Marsh Cave now. Brottster starts to stock up. Artea, you've known Brottster for a long time. Very successful in this game. Very good. Do you want to tell the fans a little bit? We haven't seen Brottster in a long time. Do you want to tell the fans a little bit about Brottster, whether it's himself or his gameplay, or kind of lighten the fans a little bit that may not have seen Brottster for either a while or before?
Brottster is one of those players that started during the first spring tournament. I showed up kind of out of nowhere, took about 2 weeks, just hanging around my stream or our streams or show stream or whatever, and just like asking a couple of questions and whatever, and just came out of nowhere and was he is like this. If he's going to do something, he wants to be competitive in it. So he's going to learn everything he possibly can about it, just to be at a level that he considers acceptable. So that's how he was. And for the longest time, Brott is one of those people that I would never consider like a free match. Like, he is always somebody that can come out of nowhere and just beat you or beat me. Humble brag, but that is not something that happens all that often.
Brottster picks up the slab. We're not going to be able to see that for quite a while. That's going to be airship locked to turn that in. He gets up in the Circle of Sages. We also saw Warp. Warp was level 6 first slot. That's Black Mage learnable, but it's level 6. You're going to need some levels to cast that. I believe it's level 16 to get a shot of level 6 magic for a Black Mage. And Red Wizard will be able to learn that, but by the time that ever came up, it would probably be obsolete. Bishop is back in Elfland. He was able to do some spell shopping. He's down to 500 gold. He saves. He's going to jump into the boat and try to use that canal.
There's another thing we haven't talked about. They did pick up an Oxiel as well.
Mm-hmm.
So they do have access to Sea Shrine, and that is an incentive.
Brottster uses the southern dock of Elfland. He got money now. He got that 40,000 gold chest in the Titan's Trove. He's going to be able to buy up all his spells right now. As Bishop, he's headed towards Melmond as soon as he finds... There you go. Just a little sightseeing tour. On a cruise. He heads to Melmond. He looks like he's going to check the magic shops as well. He's going to find that fast.
And he's also going to find his Life 2 disappointment.
Mm-hmm. Life 2. Tries to buy it. Not quite yet, Bish. You got to come back for that once you promote. A few things about Bishop. Now, when I saw this match, Artea, I'd known Bish from Zelda. Zelda 1 player, he's a Zelda 3 player as well. Been playing for a long time. I've watched him for quite a long time, so I was really excited to kind of get to know Russian Bishop here, and he's getting matched up with one of the best, and kind of see how this shakes out. And so, in talking with Bish, this was his first randomizer that he ever played. Never been in an SRL match, but it was the first that he ever played, and then he kind of moved on with the Zelda 1. It's had some definite success there. And he's also been a part of the Duckling group a little bit here and there. He's played some matches. I found some videos. So if you don't know the name, he can play this game, and he can play games, period.
Well, okay, I run Z1, the real game, the original game. So massive respect to anybody that plays that game.
Yeah.
That and Z2, not particularly easy games to get into and play fast. Very fun games to play casually, but to play them fast or at a level where you consider racing them against other people, massive respect for that. So I wouldn't count him out just yet in this one either.
Bishop is turning in his Ruby. He talks to the Titan. He's going to pick up his tail and his Sarda item, which is the cube, not far behind Brottster at all. Brottster is headed back to Melmond. It looks like he's going to pick up that fast spell. He's also translated his slab for later. As he wanders around Melmond, that's right, he's back in his boat. So Bishop really hanging in with the great Brottster, really a legend in Final Fantasy Randomizer, playing quite well. What is this play? Castle of Ordeal not on the table. The Sea Shrine is, as well as Mirage Tower and the Floating Fortress.
You have, either a ton of chests in Mirage and Sky Castle, as well as a ton of experience, but you are extremely low level to be doing such a long dungeon.
Right.
I would consider Sea Shrine, which has the incentive on the slab side, and it's not a lot of steps to get to. So you can get at least a couple of levels there, even if you don't go and kill Kraken right now, because he is not equipped to deal with Kraken at all. At all. Like, forget about it. So yeah, go see the mermaids, go say hello, go flirt around a bit, pick up, like, steal all of their fucking, their freaking jewelry.
The fun stuff. Yes.
Fun stuff, yes.
Yes.
And they just like bounce out if you have to. Yeah, bounce out, go to Sky Castle or whatever. Once you have some levels, once you have a bit of gear, or at least a little bit better than a 190 HP fighter.
Bishop has made his way to Sarda. He's about to pick up his cube. Brottster's running into some really beefy Hydras, trying to take him out. He lost Artea. Now the Hydras take out Canuck. Will's going to take him out, though, at least one of them with the Ice 3. He's down to 2 warriors here, Artea.
Well, Hydras are scary even with vanilla stats, especially if you're not wearing any armor at all. Or maybe that was his point, and now he's swapping to my preferred party of just a fighter and a black mage. Superior party, much faster. You will love it once you try it.
No sign of a vendor item. That's what Brottster was looking for. Look at him. He's kind of wandering around. Oh, what am I going to do first? Oh, I have an Oxiel. I'm going to go to the inn in that big... Oh, what are my spells? Look at him think, Artea. Look at him. What am I going to do and why?
Right now, he is about 10 levels off of having that warp charge. Which is not going to be enough. I wouldn't grind for it at all. Like, the time to be grinding for warp at level 7 was about 20 minutes ago. Like, that's what he should have started having 2 people, because everybody else is functionally useless right now. But he's stuck with what he has, trying to get a bit of early levels, probably for the nuke charges, to go do a dive to the mermaids, because the 1 nuke is not something he feels confident with, I guess.
Hydra's ambush Brottster now. Brottster's gone. It's down to Will. He's going to try to fire the... He's trying to get those levels on Will, on the Black Mage. It's not going to work.
Too much HP. That's not going to work on Hydras. Like, it is just not going to work.
Will perishes. Great naming of the characters, Artea, of Brottster, I must say.
Legitimately, I mean, you have a nuke charge, you have Ice 3. You should just dive into Sea Shrine and see what you can kill with the spells you got. I mean, they're good enough spells to handle anything you're going to find in there. They're going to be better XP than Hydras.
We know that the vendor item cannot be the canoe. It certainly can be the floater. We don't have access to a vendor item at this point in time. We do believe it is in Gaia and or the Caravan. As Brottster enters the Sea Shrine, Magius pointing out, the author of the Magius Passage, by the way, of Extended Open Progression. Long story there, but we thank you for your great ideas and contributions to Final Fantasy Randomizer. But the Earth Cave, there's 2 potential loose items out there. It's an option.
Definitely an option, but right now you just have so many things that are open. You don't have a rod to go deep into the Earth Cave. The odds of it having a loose item aren't that low, but the odds of it having a loose item that also happens to be a rod that you're going to need to keep going and not waste your time double dipping, I seriously prefer going somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
At this point in time, the time to go like check the first maybe 1 or 2 or whatever floors on Earth, if you were going to, is when you went to Sarda.
Red Sahags have Blizzard. They're going to be unrunnable. That's an unrunnable formation from the first game. It's the B side of the Pirates. He gets a nuke off. He lost Hangry, but he still survives. If you can at least, at the minimum, Artea, get to and get the information of what's in the mermaids, that's kind of a victory, no matter what, to get the information.
I'd consider it a victory just for the fact that he doesn't have 4 party members anymore. That is just more efficient distribution of experience. Now, if one of the gingers can bite the dust, that would be even better.
Mm-hmm.
And he might realize that having more levels is better than having more people.
Bish is going through the same progression that Brottster did just a few minutes ago. He's got his money now from the Titan's Tunnel. He's filling out his spell charges to make a run at this. Where does he go? We're going to find out. As Brottster steps away, he's got a couple of Gray Sharks. They usually have high HP. He's just going to try to get away. And he's closing in. He's wandering around. He digs out a Were Sword. Okay, great. And he has made it to the mermaids.
With the spell charges he had, he still has access to, I believe, 3 Ice 3s and 2 nukes. I would have gone for those Gershaks there. That would have been an easy 2 levels for everybody in this party right now.
It would have been. There's an Opal Gauntlet pickup. Brottster's going to raid this. I believe it's right around a dozen chests, 13 or so in here, including an incentivized location. Picks up an Opal Shield. There's some more money. Anything else in here? 3 gold?
Well, good thing the top room made up for that 3 gold chest.
There's another cabin. Russian Bishop continues to stock up on his supplies. Much else for Brottster. We're down to 3 chests. He's got to hike for them. One of them is incentivized. Is this the canoe? We saw this in a match last night between the Enforcer, Falconic FF, and his opponent Tarnin in a spicy party match. Both players had the toughest time getting it out. Brottster picks up a heal pot, an ice shield, and the rod? I didn't see that coming.
Okay, so here's the question now. You can clear Sky Castle, or you can go and say hello to Lich. What do you do?
Levels. Mirage Tower, at minimum. We're in the area of Onrak. We can kind of double back is what I would look at, but I would want to do that first floor of Mirage and kind of see what it is that I can do. Is that nuke, can I get a couple of vampire encounters early in the encounter table? Can I take out a couple of vampires, get that? Maybe the Chimeras. Hank Canuck actually talked about that just a few minutes ago, except these ghosts are bashing him. He's got to try to get away. He's going to fight him. He's going to try to fire that. He's out of nukes. He's got fire 3s, but that's not very powerful. Now, there goes Artie. Oh, the ghosts are starting to pound. He gets the fire 3 off. Is it enough?
He's
1?
good. He's good. Fire 3 is almost a nuke against Ghost. You're good. And optimal XP distribution right there with the 2
Ooh.
party members. He's good. So Will's gonna get a level.
Ooh.
And now everything is good. All is right in the world. He's got 2 party members. He's fine. Now never rest them again and just keep going.
Looks like, but that's what I would do. I think that is the play. A lot of chess. Maybe you run into something loose. Maybe you run into some great weapon or something.
I think that with the way he's set up right now and the price of houses, he's in a particularly good spot to just go and have some fun in Mirage, yeah. Because you can just go there and get levels in about 5 seconds, while you're also opening boxes either on the first floor or second floor, and then you just warp out or whatever, because by the time you reach the second floor, you'll have at least a warp charge to make it out.
Mm-hmm. Brottster's paralyzed. He's paralyzed again. It's another Ice 3 from brought into the Gray Shark. The Gray Shark goes down. That's a great right there. Level 12 for both of his warriors now. Bishop is sailing the high seas. It looks like he's headed towards the Mirage Tower. Like what we talked about. This was an option.
It is an option, and it's not a bad one at all.
It is. He needs to turn left.
Actually, he needs to turn left a bit earlier. Now he's way
Yeah,
too
a little
far
bit
up.
earlier. There you go. There you go. Bishop turns around. Shows some experience here. He's headed towards the Mirage Tower. Right now, we're at the 32-minute mark. Brottster down to 2 warriors. This is what myself and my broadcast partner here, one of the greatest of all time, Artea, certainly prefers. This is what we like to do. We don't know if this is Brottster's plan. We'll probably find out. Bishop is in the desert, the Great Desert. He runs into a T-Rex.
That is the best XP you can find. That is just such a good encounter. Scary, super duper high crit rate. Not a lot of enemies have a higher than 1% chance to crit you. T-Rexes are one of them.
Yes.
And you really don't want them to crit you.
Artea, your knowledge of Final Fantasy is outright amazing. Let's go with a little bit of that. I believe, I'll lead it off, the Phantom, I believe, is the highest crit rate percentage enemy in the game, if I'm not mistaken. What are some of the other ones that have more?
As far as I know, everybody that has more has the same. I might be wrong on that. But Phantom is one of them, as tigers, saber-tooths,
Yep.
possibly regular tigers too. I'm not entirely sure. We never fight those. T-Rex, and I believe that's pretty much it.
We also believe that this is a T-Rex off of Power Cycle. Not
Group 8 out
exactly
of
sure.
Tower Cycle is
you
the
believe that?
dream. That
Wow.
is the dream. If you can get that, that is free levels all around.
Brottster has made it out. He's got 2 warriors alive. It's Brottster and Will right now for Brott. He can revive his warriors. He has chosen not to. There is a clinic there. He's looking for levels, Artea? I gotta think.
I would expect so. I'm
Mhm.
not entirely sure why he's not going to a better area unless he's aiming to go kill Kraken with no weapon, no armor, no nothing, no fast, no temper, no. I no, please, bro, just move, go someplace else, do something else.
It's got a spell in level 2 called Brack. It's
Okay,
pretty
but
good.
sure, but
It's level 15 now for Brottster as he continues to go up. Bishop is fighting some red Ankleos. Really, one of for me, one of the worst fights in the game, but kind of nothing but shell to me.
so he does have Brack, and that is about a 27% chance of landing on Kraken 1, but would you really bet all the time to get to him on your Black Mage surviving and you landing the Brack?
Nope.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. I would
Great
if I had
move.
3 of them.
Great move. First SRL live match race of Final Fantasy Randomizer for the right side of your screen for Russian Bishop. His first randomizer ever. Loves this game. Grew up on it. We'll have some stories maybe a little bit later for him, about him. Maybe he wants to tell us some later. He's making a great move here in the Great Desert. He's taking on the Tyros and the T-Rexes. He's getting levels. He wants some satisfaction. He wants some safety. He wants spell charges. He bought all those supplies and he's starting to use them. You can see him right there. He's got 22 houses, 15 cabins, the chime and the cube, and he's going to continue this a little bit more. Meanwhile, Brottster has left. He just picked up the rod. Is this an Earth play? He's headed that way.
It certainly seemed that way. So if he's trying to go to Sky Castle right now, he's in the wrong dock.
Yeah. He's going to say Brottster's going to save at Melmon. Meanwhile, Bish has entered the Mirage Tower.
Brott has finally recognized the error of his ways and is going for a 2-man party.
Attaboy.
Oh, about time.
Flame armor picked up for Russian Bishop. Remember, these parties were drafted. They've got 2 fighters at this point. Gerwolves that haven't gotten to Brottster yet. They've got those. They can get you. Opal shield for Bishop now. He's starting to clean out this first floor of the Mirage Tower. Will he ascend? We're going to find out. Meanwhile, Brottster is headed to the Earth Cave.
Let's see how this plays out. I mean, worst case scenario, he doesn't waste all that much time. Earthcave is not that big of a dungeon. It kind of is, but isn't at the same time if you skip the right things.
Brottster enters the Earth Cave. There are 5 chests, though a little spread out on that floor. 1 at the top, 2 in separate areas, equaling
See,
4, and he bypassed them.
see, those are chests that I find myself either skipping really often, or if I get a long early run off a power cycle, I might dip into Earth just to go check them for free. But outside of that, I will usually skip them myself, just because if you do miss something out of them, you can always come back really quickly anyway.
Bishop perished on his first go through here to, I think that was Canuck. What was that? Was that Badman?
Yeah, Badman with lit 2 and mute.
Thank you to the thank you from the undefeated Hangry Canuck there. Very well done. He found those vampires that I talked about a little bit earlier, and 1 nuke took them all down. It rolled pretty good around 300, so he's right around level 12. We're in a Brottster, we believe, is right around level 16 at this point.
Well, here's another advantage that Brod's gonna have by the time he reaches Mirage Tower. Even if he does run into stuff like Lit 2, Fire 3, even frickin' Nuke, by the time you get there, if you're running 2-man party, you got so much HP and so much MDef. Nuke is still a concern for your Black Mage because it's a Black Mage. But outside of that, there really isn't all that much that you care about, even if you don't have a ribbon, except for instant death, which can just ruin your day no matter what you're doing.
Dual nuke shots from Bish. Go ahead, Canuck.
The Nightmares have lit 2 as well.
Level 13 for Bishop. Took him a couple nukes to get out of that fight. He's going to leave the Mirage Tower house up, and we think he's going to ascend a little bit more. Is he going to go to the 2nd floor? He is. It's a little bit of a hike. He's going to head towards the less than, greater than room. Meanwhile, Brottster's going batty. He's blocked in the hallway by one of the keys. And now he runs into multi-hit gargoyles. And Ice 3 should take them out unless he gets a low roll. And that looks good. Meanwhile, Russian Bishop gets a nice little fight here. A couple of wizard mummies and some of the birds. We'll see if he can take them out. And he starts to hammer away. Brottster still going batty in the Earth Cave. Brottster getting bat blocked. Brottster's away.
I swear, everything that starts with B in any NES game, is a jerk.
Trance.
Bats.
Trance from the Ooze. The Ooze have skills and spells. Their first spell is Fog 2. Their second spell is Fire 3. Brottster's got the better levels. He's survived, but the trance hit, it's non-elemental. They also have Dazzle. It's hit on his lead light warrior. Trance hits again. It was a different Ooze. Brottster is stud locked. He's dizzy, spinning endlessly, and the Oozes are teeing off on him. There goes Will. Now they're seeing, and Brott has to reset out of their Earth Cave.
Here's my problem with that. His Black Mage had a chance to cast Ice 3. He should have just cast Ice 3 and gotten rid of them.
Looks
He
like
had a
bit of an
chance.
adjustment from Brottster. He's going to go back and do this. 10,000 gold, doesn't want it. Brottster's going to burn an encounter and head back in. Bishop runs into those high crit rate tigers. I believe those are the saber tees. He's made it to the less than, greater than room. Is there a loose item in here? Maybe a Masmo. How about a ribbon?
Oh, that's a pretty nice find. That is a very nice find on Bishop's side.
8 elements in the game. A ribbon will give you what I call essential immunity from the instant death elements and cuts the damage in half, but he's run into a blue dragon. It's runnable, Artea, but he's going to try to kill it.
You know, a lot of people are obsessed with running away from everything. Just kill stuff. Kill stuff. Get levels. You're going to need them anyway. Something like a blue dragon is usually easy fodder. Like, if you figure out after killing one that it's just not worth it, then just don't. But don't immediately run away from everything, because you're gonna wind up having to take fights anyway.
Bishop gets through that fight. He continues the raid here. He got a ribbon out of this. No matter what, this trip is worth it. It's a flame shield to pair with his flame armor.
Oh, Brod's level advantage quickly vanishing, mostly because of that death. Just not doing a whole lot in the last few minutes.
Some sort of poison came out of the cobras. Canuck, was that stone poison from the cobras, I think?
I believe that was damage poison.
Was it damage? Okay.
Yeah, it was damage.
There's the asps, the cousins of the cobras. I believe they ambushed Brottster. Let's see if he can get away. Russian Bishop continues to ascend. He runs into a shuffled trap tile. It's the R-Bones. They're undead. He's going to go ahead and run away. He's now entered the floating fortress.
He's not entered what I consider to be the worst room in the game. The encounters here are not nice. It's like a pack of Batman, like he's experiencing right now, not the best thing in the world to be fighting when you're that low level.
Two very different strategies right here on Randomania. The Hangry Canuck, Dark Moon X, Artea, and yours truly, the Infectious Will Cleos, is bringing you this great match right here live on Randomania. No orbs have been lit yet. Two drastically different ideas and path. Russian Bishop now in the floating fortress, Brottster rod in hand, digging, and looks like he's full clearing the Earth Cave. I'd like to welcome German Saint to the chat as well, joining us right here. There's the Frost from the Bad Man. These are the levels that Artea was talking about. Two warriors are gone, John and Rob are gone. He's got a warrior that's muted, he's down to two fighters. Slow starting to hit, he's got to get away from this or do something, he does. Maybe a little bit of panic there. Does he try to get out of here? Metal Slimes is a decent fight, but he has no, oh no, Tom's gone. Now the Metal Slimes are teeing off on Griff. Russian Bishop is in a lot of trouble here. Bishop perishes, resets, runs directly into the T-Rex. Let's see what his potential backup strategy is. Once again, we'd like to welcome back the Hangry Canuck, doing so much work and everything. Wow, have I really enjoyed the Final Fantasy Randomizer 2020 Spring Tournament Canuck. We've had some great matches already, so many names that we don't know. There's so much going on, and it's really been nice to even just sit back and enjoy.
Yeah, it's definitely one of these tournaments where there could be a dark horse that can come out of nowhere and just decimate the field. So, and it can be anybody running this, so you got to be really careful.
It can be. You never know. Bishop is leaving the Mirage Tower area. He's got the information of where Ribbon is. Brottster continues his digging into the Earth Cave. Things have slowed down a little bit, but his levels are strong. Couple other names joining us right now. I don't know exactly how to pronounce it, so my apologies, Darren Dries. I've certainly watched you play a little bit here and there, and I don't want to play you already, so certainly good luck to you in the tournament as well. There's a Zeus Gauntlet being used by Brottster. He dug that out. Cast Lightning against these wizards. Wizards aren't weak to lightning, but they don't resist it, and they also fire Quad X.
Yeah, wizards are one of those mobs that are resistant to pretty much everything. Well, not everything, but at least everything elemental, except for lightning. Another option you have against them is Zap, but their base MDef is fairly high, so the chance of landing it is not as good as it should be.
People, I hear individuals and commentators talk about this mysterious MDef all the time. It's very rare that we get you, Artea, into a booth to where you can spread some of your knowledge. We're going to try to do that again a little bit more as a Fire 3 takes out the Vampire here in level 17 for Brottster and his 2 Light Warrior strategy. Can you tell us a little bit about MDef?
Dear Lord, I don't even remember the exact calculation behind it because I just made a spreadsheet of odds of things landing. But basically, any spell that you cast has an accuracy value, and that is compared to the recipient's magic defense. It's a number from 0 to 255, depending on the spell and depending on the person that receives it. And based on that, though I'm sorry I don't remember the actual value, the actual formula behind it, it determines whether you're going to land a spell or not. But then you have things such as weaknesses and resistances that come into play. Like if you're resistant to an element, the odds of it landing drop to a little bit over 1%, which is basically 3 out of 256. And if you're weak to it, then it adds, I believe, 4 out of 255, 4 out of 256, something like that. Not super significant, but enough to make a decent difference on the odds of things landing.
What just happened, Canuck?
Brock finding a loose crystal in Earth. So that's one of our 2 loose items. So there's only 1 remaining.
that could very well play into into Broad's favor if it turns out to be something massively important, like say the loot. Because Earth Cave really isn't that kind of place that most people will clear out unless they have no other choice.
Yeah, and while we were talking about that, Russian Bishop met some poison ghouls that have damage poison, so you might want to stay off the water for a while.
I've brought in a fair bit of trouble though, because he has absolutely nothing to deal with these oozes outside of lit 2 off the Zeus gauntlet that they resist. Thankfully, he manages to make it through. But he is in trouble in terms of healing and spells and just general well-being to clear out the last 3 chests that he has in here, which at this point I just skip and try to go for Lich and see if you can Hail Mary your way out of here. But he's in a tough spot.
Yeah, this pack ain't gonna help him any. Especially since he's stun locked and poisoned.
I did not see the mob that landed that stun on him, but smoke if you got him for.
And you can't run from these guys. So this could be bad for Brock getting out of here. I may have to unclick this crystal.
Don't want to write it off just yet, but yeah, this is not very good for Brock.
Now, I mean, if he's stun locked, I mean, it might be faster just to reset, but you don't really want to lose that crystal either.
It's 1 out of 8, which hypothetically is not that bad, but it always winds up being you spend 15 rounds sunlocked and just get chipped away until you die. He knows where the crystal is, he knows where anything else that he cares about in Earth is. Doesn't take that long to go back and grab him. I think he just made the right call, even though he had almost 300 health left. Like the odds of him making out of that fight were just so ridiculously low.
We'd like to welcome High Spirits, one of the greats of many, many games, to the chat as well, and a former member of Team Roadhouse, along with his partner Brottster. I believe Sforzando also involved with that as well. Welcome, High Spirits, I believe here in support of your friend and former partner. As a Russian Bishop has now made his way to the Sea Shrine, he is going to check the floor in between the entrance and the incentivized mermaids area. And there's 5 chests here. One of them's key locked, so he can't quite attain that, but he's looking for something. Meanwhile, Brottster has gone back in after he perished in the Earth Cave.
Yeah, we like to refer to that room, that reverse C with the locked door in the Sea Shrine, as that friendly chest.
TFC. Ah, okay.
Yes.
That friendly forgotten? Maybe. I call it forgotten friendly. Yeah, we could do that. Grey Sharks with the trance have stunned both of Russian Bishop's fighters. They are paralyzed. Now John, I think, is paralyzed. No, John is still up. A fighter is up now. It's some sort of relay. He gets away. Russian Bishop gets away. Only finds a wooden shield. They're sleeping the wizards on the other side of your screen. Brottster wakes up. It's Brottster and Will. They're going to continue. He's going to go for that crystal. Artea talked about it. Is that progression? There's the oozes again. Oh, they ambushed him.
It's kind of like finding a mushroom or a shovel. You just don't know until you turn it in and get handed a spoonful of disappointment.
Fire 3 from the ooze. Doing a lot of damage. Will's gone. Brottster's still hanging in there. He's only got 1 fighter here. Can you turn around and get the crystal? What are you doing?
He's got a Zeus gauntlet. He's fine.
You think he's fine?
Well, unless he runs into the same stun touch encounter that he did a bit earlier.
That's a bit of a
pick up his crystal, and then he needs to, scoot it over to Lich and get out of this dungeon because he's not in a super good place. But I mean, I've certainly survived worse myself.
Oh, he checks a trap tile, and that Frostgator is going to bash him. 123 damage after 2 hits. He's going to try to nail that Frostgator. There's Stinger. All these enemies are starting to play with Brottster now. Brottster's down to 1 knee. Brottster's down to 59 HP. Brottster resets.
The main problem Brott's dealing with right now is he has absolutely no armor and no levels at all. Not the optimal situation.
Bishop continuing the check of the mermaid's floor. He made it here quite easily and quite well. He also checked some other chests as well. He's going to pick up his rod very soon. As soon as he goes north and left, and yes, he does. One of the things I learned as Russian Bishop picks up his rod, it was very complimentary to a lot of the Final Fantasy randomizer community. It's very complimentary to you, Artea. I know he mentioned he watched you, Canuck. He certainly know who you were as well. And he went through some tough times somewhat recently, not quite recently, but and Bishop told me a little bit about himself, and it was very nice. And Final Fantasy Randomizer, and in the replays of last year's tournament, the 2019 Spring Tournament, really helped him through a lot of his. He had some dark times. Essentially, we're going to see if he wants to talk about that later. He's very thankful for it, and we're very. I would certainly think. Final Fantasy Randomizer is very thankful to have him here. I know I certainly am.
You know, there's a lot of stigma around video games and like video game violence and all of that fun stuff that happened back in the 90s with that stupid lawyer and shit. But they've certainly been used to help people through dark times as well. And I mean, I say credits to him for finding something to latch onto, even if it's just a video game, as some people would put it, or something. But if that can help him through some dark times and get him to talk about it through the people he meets, or through just powering through and finding something to hang on to, then more power to him. And that is just a good thing in my book.
Brottster runs into the unrunnable wolves. It looks like he might be on a similar encounter table. I'm seeing the same fights from the previous dives. I can't think that he would do that, given that he perished and all the issues that he had. We'll take a close look at that. There's the toxic from the werewolves, but those 2 pro rings that he found are going to prevent that. Once again, that equipped pro ring. Best hand armor in the game numbers-wise, but also protects you from the death elemental attack of Squint, Rub, Quad X, and the AoE full area of effect toxic.
Does not save you from crack, however.
Does
crack
not.
or glare, both of which are still things to watch out for.
Yeah, different elements on those. Glare is a time elemental attack, not death. It's instant death, sure, but it's not the death element. And then the crack, of course, earth elemental.
Not entirely sure how staring at somebody is killing him with time, but I mean, sure. FF1. That is pretty much the gist of it.
Well, there is also that odd acting stare skill as well. If it hits, it lands and does damage. It's the oddest looking thing. It's nothing quite like it in the game. Brottster runs into the oozes and the tarantulas again. He's going to use a nuke blast, going to take out these enemies. Meanwhile, Bishop has re-entered the Sea Shrine, and he's going left. He's headed towards Kraken, the Fiend of the Water.
You've already opened these, bro. Why are you opening them again?
Brottster does open the good one, picks up the crystal. He's got 2 nukes left. He was checking for a warp charge. He gained that level on the way in here. Now he runs into a full pack. Those werewolves we know are dangerous. There's the toxic. Do they have anything behind it? Giants can hit you as well. Does the Zeus Gauntlet take them out?
They also have stun touch in that encounter. I wasn't aware of the toxic the last time I saw them, but yeah,
Oh, Brott's gone now. He's down to a black mage, Artea.
That's no. There's no.
All this time, Brottster's using Russian Bishop on the other side of the world, gaining ground, runs into some unrunnable lobsters and sea trolls. He's got to fight them. The giant just toying with Brottster. He's going to have to use an Ice 3 that takes the giant out. I don't know what to do. I'd hit a reset button, honestly. Was it Death Touch? Kadak, do you think?
Oh, it was Death Touch on the werewolves.
Ooh, I guess they did have something else, Artea, besides just toxic. Death touch from the werewolves. Slain Will. Will party perished on the left side of your screen for Brottster. He's trying to. Oh my.
I mean, at what point do you stop going for a death montage of Earthgame and just go someplace else?
Okay, I'm not clicking on that crystal again.
Welcome to a Final Fantasy Randomizer. Should you be interested in playing this game, if you're listening later on, if you're browsing Twitch on this great channel of Randomania and their family of networks, Final Fantasy Randomizer, the best place to go and potentially start your adventure to revive the power of the orbs.
Looking for Clown Fiesta? We got them.
Bishop has lost Tom, his fighter. He's down to 3 warriors at this point. Brottster round, is this 5? Canuck 6 in the Earth Cave?
I lost count.
So white shirt for Russian Bishop. He picks that up out of a chest. Won't be equipable, but very valuable as an external casting item. Brottster resets out of the ice cave. Bishop continues the checks. He's going to be full clearing this. Runs into a werewolf trap tile in the sea shrine with death touch and toxic. Ooh.
Trap tile.
Ugh.
So those nasties are pretty much everywhere at this point.
Russian Bishop resets out of the sea shrine. We're nearing the 1 hour mark. We're a minute or so away. No orbs lit, no canoe, no floater. How much hope do we have? Here, we gotta get something going. Is it levels, Artea? When do you say enough is enough? Let's use Brottster in this case. When is enough for you?
About 15 minutes ago.
Okay, me too. Toxic from the werewolves is gonna miss.
I mean, you got nothing to survive Toxic, and you've got 3 floors of about 135 steps or something to survive of Toxic Death Touch encounters. Just get out of there. Go someplace else. Go to the sky. You can do something there. Houses are 800 gold. You can at least get 25 levels. You can do whatever over there. Just go to sky. Get out of there.
Death Touch takes out Brottster's Brott, his lead fighter. He resets and re-enters the Earth Cave. We're gonna call this number 8. I'm starting to make notches in the wall.
Brott is certainly nothing if not stubborn and or determined and or however else you want to define this insanity. I don't know how long he's gonna keep going. I assume he's gonna keep going until he succeeds, because that's the kind of person he is.
Russian Bishop digging deeper. He had to reset here. He's going back to what we call the Sharknado floor. One of the white shirt is in this area. He'll definitely pick that up. He perished to that trap tile. He won't go near that again unless he wants to use the other trap tile. There's an Aegis shield here in the Sharknado room.
Yeah, the wolves were on the trap tile in this room. That's where he kept hitting them at.
That was
That
the
would
upper
be,
left one, yeah.
Instant forget about that chest for me, but let's see how it plays out for Russia.
We'd like to remind you fans that coming up tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, right after this match, it's going to be over on Randomania 2. Nerd is back. Captain Nerd 2 against Ganon's Gone Wild. It's going to be live right here on the Randomania family of networks. Randomania 2 Dark Moon going to be taking over for that as well and taking care of that restream. Thank you very much for everything that it is that you do for Final Fantasy Randomizer.
Russian definitely displaying more cojones than I would. I would not consider grabbing that chest once I know that they have got Death Touch Toxic that you can't survive, only to find a trash sword out of it.
Oh, come on, dog. Come on.
No, I'm not going down that road.
I'm calling him.
No. The only place for that thing is down into the volcano. Just
Enforcer?
dump it in the volcano.
The Enforcer has already beat us to it. The Enforcer has brought the Vorpal Sword. It was behind the trap tile. In all seriousness, fellas, you've got a 2-fighter, potentially 2-knight party. Not a horrible thing to find. Fair enough.
It's always a horrible thing to find.
No,
It sells
get
for
outta here.
nothing.
I tried to
It's
be
like
nice,
a
man.
wet
Get
al dente spaghetti noodle. Oh, no, just get rid of that thing. Just do yourself a favor, get rid of that thing. Kill the fighter you would equip it on, and just find him a real sword.
The crit machine Vorpal, differences of opinions. Either way, it is definitely a beautiful sword. Thank you, Enforcer, for joining us, not only here, certainly on Randomania, but showing your support as the lone representative, of course, of Team Vorpal here in this tournament. Brottster once again uses the rod. We're going to call that number 5 on his 8th dive. And he's going to close in, try to pick up that crystal again. Angry Canuck is not going to click it because he has done it too many times. Russian Bishop closing in at just past the 1 hour mark against a veteran and, well, really a favorite player, looking to light the first orb in this match.
Let's see if he receives a Kraken whacking or manages to make it through. Do not like the health levels, do not like his equipment in general, but could be wrong. Certainly levels are adequate if this were vanilla, but it's not, and there's some stat shenanigans going around, so I don't know how confident I'd be going into Kraken with what he's got.
Here we go. Russian Bishop's going to try to light the first orb live here on Randomania past the 1 hour mark against his opponent, Brottster. This will be his first orb lighting. We don't know about this. He does not have Brack on the Red Mage. He's looking at his spell charges. I'm not sure exactly what he did. Brottster's running some more Death Touch and some more problematic enemies. There's Blaze. Blaze, that's a fire elemental from Kraken.
Yeah, he comes back to Russian. Unfortunately, bought Ice 2 on both his mages when he was in Provoca, and it's coming back to bite him right now because that Brack would have been a lot more useful than anything he's got right now.
Bish is going to try to fire Nuke. He's got his Black Mage in the bottom. It's a different sprite. He's going for damage. Brottster gets through his fight. Tom attacks Kraken. It's a physical hit. There's the Nuke. There's the nuke, and it's for 278. There's a Cure 4. Bishop starting to adjust against his fight against Kraken. This is an ambitious fight. Artea just told you about it.
At this point, Kraken's got about 400 to 500 HP left. It's not that bad because he's survived the 3 rounds. But still not a given.
More attacks from Bishop. He's lost the Black Mage. The Black Mage is gone. He's down to 3 warriors. Tom attacks Kraken. There's a nuke from John into Kraken for 300. It's not enough. Kraken fights back. Kraken trying to fight back. He hit Tom, but he didn't take him down. He's still got 3 warriors. Bishop's got to make this happen now. He gets turn order. Fires a nuke into Kraken. It's non-elemental, and it gets the job done. Russian Bishop gets to level 17 on 3 light warriors, and he steps away from lighting the first orb in this match, and he does.
There was the annoying part that I couldn't see how much damage his melee hits were doing because he keeps dropping frames. So it was hard to comment on that fight. It's very possible that he was a red mage getting targeted away from a wipe there.
It's definitely very close. Russian Bishop saves. Brottster has now made it through. He's on the 4th floor here. Runs into some eye mages. Gets away. Still got the 2 warriors. He's closing in on lighting his first orb. He's also got one of the 2 loose items we know is out there. It's the crystal. We don't know what that might lead to. It's a fetch quest. Didn't give us that information. It wasn't just the power gauntlet sitting right there or the loot or something like that. But there's the oozes. Gonna try to run in a nuke.
We do have the good news. There are no werewolves on this floor.
It is correct. We do have the oozes, but there will be no werewolves. It's also a very short floor. I know bats are blocking him. Things are better already. Russian Bishop with the rod in hand. He's hit by Sardis Cave. He's headed towards the Earth Cave. There's a giant. Brottster doesn't want this. He wants to get to Lich.
Brott applying the original FFR strats. When all else fails, just brute force it, and eventually you'll RNG your way through.
Brott's going to attack with Brott. That's an ice sword. 3 hits, 149. Follows it up by a nuke. The non-elemental shot takes out Lich with 108. Lich was weak. Brottster's got his first orb now. We're tied 1-1 in that progression department. Advantage to the left side of your screen in Brottster. It's the crystal. I've got to think he hits directly to Matoya.
He used the tent on the way out.
I think so.
Okay.
I think he did, right?
I'm just thinking of hangry here.
That was probably the worst 40 minutes of my life watching that.
Okay. Brottster sails back into the LDC. He couldn't wait to get out of here. Now he can't wait to get back in and go see that baddie crazy woman, Matoya. Return her crystal. She's going to have a key item Potentially, could be a Thor's hammer, could be a power gauntlet, could be an
All
opal
things
bracelet.
I'm sure that he will be thrilled to receive after spending 40 minutes in here.
On Thor's hammer.
Russian Bishop's making his way to the Earth Cave. He's got about the same levels that Brottster had, but he's got more warriors. This is the blaze from the wolves. Knocks out Will. Brottster can't have that. You got to have Will in your party. He's going to hit reset and do more and turn in his crystal.
This seed is just filled with roots. It's insane.
It is. It is. It's the crown for Brottster. The fetch quest is going to go ahead and continue. 5% experience per item that you get. I don't think Brottster hates seeing that at this point. There's the imps. Why don't you just give them something too while you're at it? Russian Bishop, if he can one-shot this Earth Cave, I think it's a pretty big coup for him, Martea, considering the amount of time that Brottster spent in there. I think, was it 40 minutes?
Pretty close.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he entered there, I don't know, 29, 30 minutes in, so yeah, it was pretty close.
Brottster headed towards, he's going to bypass Alpha and turn in the crown.
Well, he's going to Assos. Don't really care about Alpha right now.
Uses a nuke, takes out the ogres. Russian Bishop starts to check chests now. There is a loose item in this dungeon. It's late. It's on the 4th floor.
Here's the thing we haven't seen, because early on we saw him Power Cycle to take advantage of long runs, but now he's not really taking advantage of it as much as he could. Oh.
Fetch
It's just all manner. It's basically like vanilla fetch quest, reverse vanilla fetch quest or something.
Yeah, it basically is. There's hold from Astos into Browse. Astos the whole time. Eat a nuke, Astos. 352 damage. Astos goes down. Another level for Brottster, level 18. He's going to head back towards Elfland Castle. Is this a Mystic Key sort of thing? Kinger Canuck in the background. He's, again, he's keeping the beer cold for Artea and Wukleosis here live on Randomania. He's up before Thor's hammer.
Oh, he's absolutely heading for a Thor's hammer at this point. This is just too many middle fingers to be anything but a Thor's hammer.
I've got to agree. Brottster enters Elfland Castle. The eternal sleeping prince about to be awoken with the herb. The elf doctor, the elf nurse wakes the prince. The prince heads over the opening. Give it to us, Canuck. Tell us.
Not quite what I want it, but I can die happy now.
What is the item? You've coined it. You made that item. Tell us what that item is.
Cheerio.
The Opal Cheerio, a Canuck original. Brottster is going to the marsh basement?
Boy, Brot, you got the entirety of Sky Castle open. What are you doing?
Does he know that? Oh boy. This is probably the... I know Brottster hit his head in that Earth Cave that Russian Bishop is in right now for 40 minutes. In my opinion, this might be an actual bigger story than that. He's going to dig the bottom of Marsh Cave. We'll see what happens there. Bishop wants that Zeus gauntlet. He goes and digs that out. He's got his ice sword. Artea, we talked with Brottster a little bit before the match. One of the things that alarmed me, that he told us both, was he kind of really hasn't practiced that much, to say it nicely.
That is broad. That is just broad. Anytime, every tournament or league or whatever that ever happens, this is what he always does. He just shows up 5 minutes before the race. I haven't played this in 6 months, but you know, it doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter. Now it's kind of showing a little bit, but I mean, it's like riding a bike. It comes back pretty quick.
It's the only thing that I question as he picks up an iron shield. Might be the dock at the Mirage Tower. I want to keep that in the back of our minds. It could be a potential storyline here. He's got one more chest to check down here. It's a few chambers up that he has access to right now. Without the Mystic Key, he doesn't have access to the ones at the bottom. But a peculiar play, to say the least.
It was there. It's not that long. Can't really understand why he'd go there instead of doing it earlier. But then again, when he was here earlier, he had absolutely no potions because he didn't prepare to go there.
It is true.
I mean, I have a lot of comments about a lot of things he's done, but You know, whatever. Like, at this point, he's there. It's not a very long check to just reset out of it. He spent what, maybe a minute and a half, 2 minutes down there.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't
Not
a
the end of
time
the world.
sink. Not a bad time sink for Brott. He made a move. You never know. Could be no potential Mazmoon there. We know it's not obviously one of the loose items. There's still one out there. Russian Bishop taking his time through here. He's on the second floor right now of the Earth Cave. He's going to move on to the third floor very quickly. He does have his rod in hand as Brottster heads back to Canaria for supplies. One of the new players here that we have in Final Fantasy Randomizer, new to the tournament. I met him on his first day, Grendalicious. Thank you for joining us right here live on Randomania, out of the darkness, in a great return and a great special treat for the fans right here, and all his knowledge and all his depth he's willing to share with us. He is Artea. I am the infectious Wilcliosis. We're also joined by the Hangry Canuck of Opal Cheerio fame, and of course the great Dark Moon X and everything that you do. Volunteer extraordinaire, thank you for joining us. We've had a great time so far. One orb apiece so far. There's one loose item that's been found. It's the crystal. It's buried deep into the Earth Cave. Canoe was found in the northern Marsh Cave. We know that that crystal fetch quest leads to a whole opal bracelet. Right now, all eyes to the left side of your screen. Where is Brottster going? Is it back to the Sea Shrine or is it to the Mirage Tower?
Legitimately here, what did we find out of Crescent Lake?
Um,
Because the question going through my mind right now is, my memory's not so hot anymore, but
yeah.
did we
It
even
was
see Crescent
Slap.
Lake?
slab.
Oh.
Yep.
So completely useless. All right.
No, we do have the slab. I do believe Russian Bishop has it. I'm pretty sure. I don't think it's quite highlighted
No.
yet. He doesn't
No,
have it?
He's in the Crescent Lake yet.
He's bat blocked. Russian Bishop's bat blocked, just like Brottster was earlier. Our question's been answered. Brottster's headed towards the Mirage Tower. Bishop is through. He's headed to the third floor right now. If Brottster hard resets, he will find the T-Rex, which he did. Level 19 for Brottster and his 2 Light Warrior party. There's the Death Touch Werewolves, Toxic. Werewolf misses. They have to connect for a hit in order to roll that Death Touch. It destroyed Brottster. Brottster's now hard resetting. He's going for the T-Rexes. Veteran move from Brottster, the great Brottster. He's been playing this game forever. Fires a nuke into the T-Rex. T-Rex goes down. That'll get him to level 20 for his 2 Light Warriors, as he spent 40 minutes earlier in this Earth Cave that Russian Bishop was in, got an orb out of it, and an Opal Cheerio.
Now here's the question, because you have the tail. You know, it's only a matter of time until you find the floater. You know that you have access to Ruse and Heal 2 and Cure 3 for magic for your knight. Do you hold off on 2 minute levels so you can get 4 spell charges out of it or not?
I thought Ruse was 4th slot level 3. And Cure 4 was 3rd slot level 4. So it'd be Cure 4 and not Ruse. And Cure 4 was, I believe, level 4.
That is not impossible.
I believe Ruse was 4th slot in locked.
Definitely level 4.
Yeah. Red Mage. Slot 3.
Red Mage is very dead. You're not going to be seeing him for a very, very long time, if ever you do again.
He's only mostly dead. As Brottster is in the Great Desert, and soon he will have fun storming the castle.
For the record, Ice Cave's going to be very bad because images have blaze.
Wait, the wolves have it. The werewolves are terrible. The wolves are terrible. Iron mages are horrible.
It's not anything that's not like completely freaking terrible at this point. Let's just remind folks that we are an hour and 15 minutes in, and we still haven't found a kayak.
It's just we got a ship. We need a boat.
We still have dungeons that are completely blocked off.
Mm-hmm. And you know, Artea, both players have played well. They've made good, right decisions. They haven't been shy. They've been logical. Both players have adjusted, gotten levels, done this, done that, backtracked, got their money. The enemies have just been terrible, and the item placement. Welcome to Final Fantasy Randomizer.
There's certainly been a hefty dose of stubborn too, but on the whole, I mean, it's just sometimes these things happen. You just gotta power through and remind yourself that when the early game is terrible, at least you're not seeing it later.
The ruby and the chime given out by the King of Canaria and Princess Sarah after she was rescued. Sarda gave us the cube. The Titan's Trove held the tail. That is just about where we are. The crystal turned into the crown. The crown went to the herb. Over to the Opal Cheerio, as the Hankard Canuck has coined. The Oxyale was from, I believe, Bicky the Pirate. That incentivized item was the rod. That's how Brottster was able to spend 45 minutes in the Earth Cave. But he's got the Orblet. Still one loose item out there. Is it required? Is it not required? We have found the tail. We have found the, of course, Opal Bracelet that we just mentioned. No sign of the Power Gauntlet. No sign of the Thor's Hammer at this point in time. Brottster finds that ribbon that Bishop found earlier, but he could not get out of here. It's in the less than, greater than room. He likes seeing that.
Alias, I would say the Rumbali room, but good enough.
Alias. Oh, wow. I remember that show. Russian Bishop continues to slog through this Earth Cave. He does head north.
I believe that was the first show that taught us that J.J. Abrams cannot write an ending to save his life.
Oh, gosh. These werewolves have death touch on the right side of your screen. They also have toxic. There's the toxic from the werewolves. We know pro rings are for sale early. He loses Tom, gets the Ice 3 off, and he gets through that fight. They're very prevalent on this floor as well. Meanwhile, Brottster is closing in on the floating fortress. He gets a chance to strike first and runs away from the vampires, runs into the R-Bones. There's mute from the birds into Bishop. He's going to try to run away, I think, after they try to freeze him. Everyone's got mute all days. Don't speak. I know what you're thinking.
Oh, dude, you did not.
I did.
Oh, you jerk.
I could keep going. I could keep going. Don't tell me.
Because it hurts.
Nuka from Will.
Stop right now, thank you very much.
Not get rid of this last metal slime, just hanging on. Has to blow an Ice 3 shot into it for 35 damage. Brottster gets through. He's going to even a level. It's level 25 for his 2 warriors.
So here's an advantage that Bishop has that Brott didn't at the time. He went into Earth Cave having a ribbon, so he's resistant to toxic already. So the only thing he has to worry about really is the death touch. But he does have roughly the same levels, but with 4 party members.
And he's in a lot of trouble. He's in a lot of trouble here.
Now, should I click the crystal or not?
No.
Oh no.
No, you learned your lesson, Canuck?
No, do not line yourself up for disappointment.
Yeah, once again, Bishop has not been to Crescent Lake at this point to get his slab. That's a potential talking point later on. Can he survive this fight? He loses the Black Mage. This is a tough fight. It's unrunnable. That Ice 3 is not going to get that Frost Gator. It's going to get most of the Piranhas.
So, what? Brott running away from some of the best XP in the game with those metal slimes.
I gotta think he's trying to conserve spell charges, perhaps, Artea?
He's got a freaking spell machine gun. Like, just go to town. You got 76 charges for a reason. Just use them.
Brottster closes in. Now he's now on the star floor. There's a couple of green Medusas. A good experience fight as long as they don't ambush you. 11 hits. Roll 13 hits from the green Medusas, but they don't have much damage. Fire 3. Great play from Brottster. Better move, Artea. Use fire against those green Medusas.
Surprisingly, they have such low base HP that most of the time you can get away with just lit 2.
The Grey Naga, good experience here. Usually a lot of hit points, but usually doesn't hit hard. And that does hold true. Brottster considering... Oh, he's going to try to zap him. The zap hit, it does not. It's ineffective. But the Naga not doing much. 248 damage from the fighter takes out the Naga. Does he get a level? He does not. Brottster continues his full clear.
So I like to use Brack on Gurnagas. It's not the best thing in the world.
Wow, there it
It's
is.
it's about a third of the time that it's gonna land. Zap, not so lucky. It's barely 20%.
In the star room, right side. I tell you, you said it. Well, 50 minutes ago, we talked about it when Sarda gave out the cube. You said we were going to find some sort of vessel in the floating
And
fortress, and there
I
it
would
was.
say that. Oh, yep.
A heel helmet and the legendary
When in doubt,
Excalibur.
when in doubt, always metagame the metagame everything out of the seed. It's gonna be as trolly as possible.
Now, Brottster's got a decision to make here. He's got to allocate his spell charge to figure out exactly what it is that he wants to do here. I can't think you want to turn around. So he's going to try to finish it. He's going to try to light his second orb. I've got to think. He's at level 26.
Well, we're seeing the two man party starting to pay off now. Because once you make it past level 20, the XP you need for extra levels is really not that much more than it was for every level before it. The difference is you're only spreading that experience across 2 party members now, so you're going to get those levels so much faster.
Angry Canuck has made the call. He's gone ahead and marked the crystal for Russian Bishop. And Bishop, it hasn't been the smoothest or the fastest Earth Cave, but it's been a one-shot. And believe me, in this match, you're going to take that one shot. Meanwhile, Brottster gets ambushed by the rock gulls. He's going to try to run. He's going to go ahead and get away as Bishop closes in on lighting his second orb. He's been doing great with these fiends so far. He's going to try to take out Lich pretty quick.
Now, the thing that I don't like is he's on Brottster's side, he's running 2 party members, which is great, but he's not going for a backup on if his run fails. When you're just fighting 2, 3 enemies or whatever, they're not very dangerous. Go ahead and run with both. But if you're fighting 8 people, it's quite a bit of a time loss if you don't one round it. Like if you fail to run, you're gonna eat, about 14 attacks or possibly spells from whatever you're fighting. So just go ahead and nuke them or do something that says like maybe I'll run away or maybe I'll clear like 3/4 of the board or something that'll at least save a bit of time.
Anyone who just heard what Artea just said, this man is a champion of Final Fantasy Randomizer. If you're new, someone like a Grindelicious, I see you out there. Great knowledge being handed out here by one of the greats of Final Fantasy. Russian Bishop has taken out Lich. He extends his lead orb-wise. He's back to 2. He's got 2 of the 4 orbs. Brottster still only with 1. He's on search for his second one. He was paralyzed. Still taking on these man-cats. They've rolled 3 hits, but they aren't doing that much damage. Ice 3 is not going to do anything to them. They resist essentially everything, Artea.
That is a nuke encounter. If ever you come across that encounter, that is a nuke encounter, and there's nothing else that's worth casting.
Yep, you can chip, but these man-cats, they're my least favorite enemy in the game for a reason. Ice 3's going to chip again. It's going to get close to getting them. It looks like it's going to get most of them. He chipped away and is finally going to get them. Russian Bishop is sailing in his boat. Is he headed towards the Mirage Tower? I got to think he is. Brottster checks the chests on the... There's a ribbon and a light. Okay, there's a ribbon and a light. That's the 2 ribbons, Artea. That's huge. He's only got 2 warriors.
Oh, please get rid of that Zeus Gauntlet. You're never going to use it again. Please keep the armor there. Please, please, please. Brah, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're never going to use that Zeus Gauntlet again.
Bish has returned to Canaria. He's reviving his party. Brottster insists on checking these chests. Is it an endgame weapon? Potentially. He does not have the Vorpal. That's not potentially an option for him. I don't think he would want it.
I have
No
a few
sign
choice words about calling the Vorpal an endgame weapon, but
of a Mazmoon. No sign of a Mazmoon. No sign of a defense sword. Canuck, they've been... The weapons have been pretty sparse.
well, we did see an Excalibur.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was an Excal in Sky. You said yourself, the legendary Excal.
Yeah, I know, but I don't like it.
Will is playing the broad drinking game here, I expect.
Brottster has made it to the Sky Maze. He's going right to... up to... He's made it to the Bridge of Destiny, fans. Get out your plus RNGs if you want to see the Death Machine. The Death Machine is looking in here. Brottster is running a two-fighter tile who have Blizzard. Their two ribbons are going to protect him. Cuts that damage in half. Blizzard is Ice Elemental. That's Stone Poison. He gets away with that too. That's the Stone Poison
Dear
Elemental.
Lord, that was 2 fighters. So much experience he's running away from. It makes me cry.
It's a great experience fight. He runs away. There's a single fighter. The fighter misses. Brott's going to run. It's a great experience fight. He doesn't want it. He wants to get to Tiamat, and he does not quite yet. He's going to
just
run
away from 2.5 or 3 levels just on this floor.
Russian Bishop is headed towards Matoya's cave. He's going to turn in the crystal. We know that this will lead to the crown, which will lead to the herb, which will lead to the opal bracelet. Brottster's already done this already. He's going to try to tie the game with 2 orbs. Brottster starts the attack. 4 hits for 97 to Tiamat. Tiamat fights back with 3 hits, but weak damage. Temper gets off, and we're on to round 2. Brottster trying to light that second orb. 3 hits for 30 damage. Tiamat does not hit worth anything. 369, followed by a nuke. Full assault by Brottster. That's 126. We're on to round 3. He's gone down to fire 3. There's an attack. 236, followed by a nuke from Brottster, and Tiamat is still standing. 3 hits for 34. It's only a matter of time. Brack from Brottster at Tiamat, broken into pieces. Tiamat is down. Brottster lights his second orb. He has the second loose item. It's the canoe. Brottster assumes the lead in this match now.
Not as unlikely as you think. That's a 27% chance of landing on Brack. Bane's a little bit lower. But Brack actually has a fairly high accuracy. We were talking about accuracy in MDF a bit earlier. Brack is pretty good, especially if the mob you're targeting is weak to it.
Bishop returns to Provoca. He's picking up spell charges. I know that Brack is there that he did not get from before. It was level 2 from the Red Mage. Perhaps it's a little bit of nerves. Once again, this is Russian Bishop's first Final Fantasy Randomizer live match ever. Certainly first ever Final Fantasy on TV. We've seen it many times in the Zelda 1 Randomizer community, as well as A Link to the Past. So he's got experience. Brottster now jumps into the canoe. He's headed to the ice cave. This place is incentivized. So again, we'd like to thank you for joining us right here on Randomania. We are live. We are at the 1 hour 30-minute mark, tied 2 orbs apiece. The Hangry Canuck, Dark Moon X, myself, the Infectious Wickliosis, along with Artea, bringing you to this great show.
2 orbs apiece. However, I would give a slight advantage to Brock just by simple fact that Russian has been to Mirage and a little bit of Sky already and did not pick up his canoe over there. Or did he? Fuck me. Sorry.
No,
he did.
That's Blaze from the Eye Mages. No, he didn't. He reset out of that ribbon. Actually,
I'm having a really hard
perished.
time telling with this tracker right now.
Yeah, I believe he actually had to reset out of that ribbon. He never quite really even got deep into the floating fortress. So we'll see what Bishop is up to next as he returns to... He can't get through here. This is the first one I've seen. We're 90 minutes into this match. This is actually... He can't get through here. And he realizes it. Because he doesn't have a canoe. It's only open progression at this point in time. But he's going to turn around and head back towards turning the crown in the Northwest Castle.
So, Bishop been to Sky, has not picked up his canoe in there. So he's probably going to go everywhere else first, but he doesn't really have all that many options left.
No, yeah, he actually reset out of Sky. I can't remember if he wiped, but I know he reset out. So.
I've got to think vendor item, caravan, floater. Or something that leads to it.
Could also be a Gaia, loot, or key. That's certainly still on the table. We've got a canoe now, and we've got an incentive out of Ice Cave and Ordeals.
Waterfall too.
Waterfall is also open as well, yeah. So vendor item, either caravan or Gaia is accurate, but it being something like floater or something we care about is not very likely.
Correct, of course, with Castle of Ordeal and the waterfall still on the table.
Could be, though, because we know that it's not going to be a Thor's hammer for sale in an item shop. So far, nothing particularly interesting out of the ice cave, but we haven't seen the incentive yet.
Yeah, he warped. The incentive was the bottle.
Did we? Oh, that's even worse. At least one of the Canadians here is paying attention right now.
Bishop has made his way to Northwest Castle, turns into the crown of the Conleo King, and it was Astos all along. He's gone. He picks up his herb.
Unfortunately, with the incentive being a bottle, it doesn't really do anything until we find a floater, so it's down to either Caravan, as Will was saying. I don't believe there can still be a loose item. I might be wrong about that one, but I think we found all the ones that we could.
It was the crystal in Earth Cave and the canoe loose inside the floating fortress. A question from chat from MG Weirdo. Thank you for joining us as well. Have you found the power bonk? The power gauntlet has not been located yet. It will not be a vendor item. It will be located, or something will be located that will lead you to it from either the slab turn in, the bottle turn in, Castle of Ordeal, or the waterfall. Bishop makes his way to Elflin Castle, turning in his herb. He's going to be very disappointed like Brottster was a little bit ago. He picks up his opal bracelet. Brottster's making his way to, it looks like, I would think it's the on-rack area in the waterfall, if his routing is correct. Or is it Ordeal? It's Ordeal.
That is Ordeals, yes.
Okay.
Rather quick check, especially if you got warp available. Now, of course, you're stuck sailing to it, which is a bit slow, but you're stuck sailing to anywhere anyway. And in Broad's case right now, it's either Ordeals, which is an incentive, or you're going down to go say hello to Kraken.
I'd say, what is your preferred endgame sword melee weapon?
Mags, because it's the only one worth swinging, but barring that, use an Excal, because it's basically Mags against everything except Chaos.
Okay. No sign of that Masmod at this point. However, we do know that the legendary Excalibur is located just 2 chests south of the required canoe in the floating fortress. Brottster starts to navigate the pillar maze. This is unique each and every game. These pillars are shuffled. He uses the warp trick. Artea just told you about it. As he goes back, he looks like he's going through. He's going to have to warp back again, go to the lower pillar, and he's through already. There's a shuffled trap tile here. Is it anything good? Is it anything problematic? No, it's just the Crit Machine Tigers, and he gets away.
Well, Crit Machine Tigers could certainly be problematic, but not at this point in the game, I wouldn't think.
No, not anymore. A couple more chests in here. Is there some sort of weapon, a spellcasting item, perhaps?
Here's the thing, why are you bothering opening items when you've got Fisher Price My Fire Starter Pack, an Excal waiting behind the class change that you already have, and 2 ribbons?
Gold bracelet passes it up. Is this the floater? It's the Mystic Key! Okay, that's required, and that's good, and we're progressing. But you know Brott wants to get in the air, and he wants to class change so badly. He's been holding on to that rat's tail forever.
So we know the floater is either Waterfall or Caravan. What do you do?
Well, obviously the Caravan at this point, and I would go personally. I'm looking for that, so I'm going to check the Caravan first. I'm going to save basically right at the dock, find out that information. If it's a fetch quest item, if it's the Adamant, I'd probably go ahead and take it because I want to personally class change as soon as possible, so I can make sure that I can have spell charges on the Knight because we've got what harm 4, invis 2. I won't have access to cure 4 at this point, but to change.
Where are you going, Brot? Where are you going? Not in that. What the? You need to go west where the skies are blue.
It's going to the volcano, Artea.
Okay, but that doesn't help him pick up the floater that he could have gone and picked up.
Okay, this is an opening right now. Russian Bishop has played a good game.
Now, here's the thing. He had picked up the loot already. He wouldn't need to go and pick up the floater. But he was right next to Kraken, right next to the floater, the only place it can be. And we know that loot is turned in from either the slab or the bottle. It's one or the other, so we know you need the floater. Why are you going Volcano?
With the Power Gauntlet and Thor's Hammer still out there, actually, our reigning champion, Crabcakes, is pointing it out live here right now on Randomizer in the chat. If the bottle and the slab turn into the fetch of Power Gauntlet and Thor's Hammer, neither of which we have seen, this is a non-floater required seed. Desired, yet not required. Russian Bishop picks up his slab. He never did that earlier in Crescent Lake. He's got to feel relieved to see that at the 1 hour 37 minute mark, knowing that he didn't miss it. Well, he missed it, but it wasn't required. It wasn't the floater sitting right there. Brottster is looking to full clear the volcano at this point, it looks like. He runs into a ghost shuffled trap tile. It's the old fire trap tile. Uses the warp veteran move there from Brottster. Artea,
Possibly forgot that he only has guaranteed areas left.
I'm starting to think that. Look at, he's checking these too. I
mean, those are Hail Mary chests. Like, why are you even going there?
I mean, if you're 20 minutes in, sure, okay.
I mean, if you're
not go
looking
near these.
for experience to go back outside the volcano before it dives, use a house, whatever, okay, I can get behind that, but not when you're an hour and 40 minutes in.
Yes, I agree. Speculation's going on about maybe he thinks that it's 3 loose, and that is quite possible. I can tell you this. It was about 3 hours ago that I specifically told Brottster, it's 2 loose, plus the canal that will be in a box. I can tell you that I told, whether or not he paid attention, this is Brottster. Okay, so nothing really surprises you.
He's just
but he has been
clear the game and probably finish around the same time as Bishop anyway. So.
Could be. Bishop is
going to Marsh. They're all going to the same places,
Marsh
just
Cave.
in a different order. Yeah.
Both players. Okay.
So statistically, it has a higher probability of being in Sky because Sky still has about 20 chests left for Bishop, which is a lot more than Marsh. But he probably just sees it as oh, hello you.
Ice 3 right here and Nuke.
Beauty. No, use Ice 3, it's more damage.
Oh, they're weak. Artea, they have under 200 hit points. They have Glare. Doesn't matter. It's Time Elemental. That's a favor. Ice 3 is going to take them right out. This is a dream.
So if you're watching at home, they're weak to Ice. So Ice 3 has a higher top-end damage than Nuke on Gasties. Now, the accuracy value is different, but Ice 3 usually better cast than Nuke.
There's a defense sword pickup for Brottster. Brottster strengthening his position. Equips the Sun Sword, and the defense to take another one. Ice 3 and Nuke will wipe out at least probably 2 of these gas dragons each time. They're using Glare. He's got ribbons to protect himself from the time. This is a really great play from Brottster.
An hour and 40 minutes in. That is what would be looming over my head.
It is. It's level 30.
This is a ton of XP. Don't get me wrong. It's a ton of XP. But you've got to be feeling crazy behind at this point. You spent 20 years wiping an Earth Cave. It's an hour and 40 on a flag set that usually takes about an hour and 20, an hour and 30. Kind of need to get a move on.
Canuck, are you here?
Yippers.
How many beers did you have as Brottster went through the Earth Cave and kept dying?
Well, no one told me about the drinking game.
I am counting in terms of liquor stores, personally. But
liquor stores could be that too.
Yes.
Ouch.
Yeah, it was a while.
It was quite a while. Bishop makes the play on the Marsh Cave, the Marsh Basement. This is what Brottster did as well. There is nothing here. Brottster has picked up a defense sword. Now he adds a dragon armor to his repertoire. He's not promoted yet, but he's got it, and he's got 2 fighters that want to be knights very badly.
Will, you took a 236-point shot to the face there a second ago. That's why you're on it.
Feel your flesh wound. Peds from Brottster. Peds are starting to run away. They're certainly well known from that, and they run away. Brott is down to one warrior. Now this is interesting. He does not have an airship, Artea. Does he leave and revive? Does he keep going? Let's go.
I mean, he's got a level 30-something god. I mean, he's fine, but I would just beeline carry at this point.
Trap We've already seen a Trap Tile shuffle that had the Death Touch werewolves. We know they're not in here. I haven't seen any sort of stone touch. There's only one enemy in the game that has that anyway that could really slow up Brottster at this point.
He's fighting carry with the best gear a fighter can equip. They just beeline carry, get it over with, go to Crescent Lake, res up, do whatever, and then please go to unrack.
Bish is out of the Marsh Cave. He's sailing. It looks like he's sailing and taking ways right around the Castle of Ordeal area, but it looks like he's going south of that and headed towards where he needs to go, which is the Mirage Tower, and then ascend up to the Floating Fortress. He is going that way. Brottster continues to dig deeper into the Gurgu Volcano. He's pausing for just a second. He's having a think. Okay.
Having a think or having a cry, I'm not sure which yet.
It could be a cry. Maybe it was a beer.
He certainly deserves it at this point.
He does, yeah. Bishop makes his way towards the Mirage Tower. This will put Bishop back on track. Brottster thought about running.
Oh, wow, we run from those.
Ooh, do they have something behind Glare?
Well, they
could
hit
really
hard, and they've got You Don't Know What behind that, and they've got a 3-256 at one-shotting you because sometimes ribbons just say screw you. It is a ton of XP though, but...
Oh, cremate. Brottster gets through the fight in a second.
15 heal potion fight.
Brottster, there we go. He's through. This is 15,000, 30,000. Ooh, experience. Level 34 fighter at this point.
I mean, he's loaded for bear, don't get me wrong, but... healing pot's gonna be an issue. Needs to get to carry because he needs at least 3 just for the damage tiles he's gonna be taking on the way down.
Level 18 for Bishop as he starts to close in. He's taking the Red Ankleo fights. As Bishop gains more experience with this game, he will not take this fight. They really are all shell, but right now he's going to mow him down.
They really are all damage, no substance. They hurt so hard, but they're worth no XP. They're
like
just not worth fighting.
A red hangnail. No one wants that.
Or ankegs in Baldur's Gate. You know, those things that you just do not want to ever fight because they'll just turn you to stone and destroy you.
Brottster's going to check all these chests. I thought Bishop was able to raid this floor and get out of here. Are these chests empty? Yes, they are.
I believe so.
Yeah, he reset. That's an unrunnable Iron God tile. He's only got 246 HP. He's got to adjust. It's Brottster. He's got to get the defense sword out, and he does. That's 43 damage. They're breaking through. He's now max defensed. He took this fight. It was the trap tile shuffle. There's 5 hits for 142. He's got to get rid of both of them. This is an unrunnable fight. They have low HP. No power gauntlet. Brottster makes it happen. 25,000. That's level 36 for Brott. He dodges a bullet. $12 heal potions. 10, 9, 8. Brottster's down to 6 heal potions. That's 5. Brottster's down to 3. Brottster is out of heal pots. He's closing in on carry. He does not want to fight. He does not want to see red giants. He gets ogres.
I mean, yeah, you definitely don't want to see giants at this point, but he's got 500-ish experience, HP to take on carry. Like, he's fine. But...
Oh, is he ever fine, Artea? Wow, great call.
Well, weak carry, but I mean,
Yeah.
This is a fight that you normally take around level 14, level 15, depending on how risky you want to play it, and any percent anyway. with nothing better than a nice sword. He's got a sun sword and full complement of everything. He's good.
Very well done from Brottster. He's making his way back to Crescent Lake. We'll see if he puts together that the waterfall and or vendor item located next to each other is the play. Meanwhile, Russian Bishop has made his way to the floating fortress. He's going to check the annoying room that Artea talked about a little bit earlier. There isn't much here from what I remember. The next room, however, will house the legendary Excalibur, along with the second loose item, the required floating vessel of the canoe.
Yeah, for as amazing as Sky 2 is, the Sky 1 is absolutely horrible. Just because of the bad men. Bad men are they're really aptly named. They hit ridiculously hard and they come in extremely large packs.
Brottster resurrecting Will and his other fighter, Artea. Brottster's bringing back the commentary team for this match, up to 3 Light Warriors.
I guess he's happy with his levels.
Not enough for him, though. He heads back. The Angry Canuck is in this now. 4 Light Warriors for Brottster.
Not entirely sure where Brot's going with this. Or did he park his boat back in Elflin?
Who knows where his boat is? I think it's right here, right on the bottom, straight down. Right there.
Does look like yeah. So now he's going to be heading to Onrak because the only place he's got left.
Nah, he's doing key locked.
Oh,
He did the whole thing.
Lord.
I think he thinks it's
He
another
definitely
loose.
thinks that it's open instead of being either a caravan item or waterfall.
Mm.
That's a shame. That's going to waste a ton of time.
Well, the caravan item tripped me up the other night.
Who won that match?
I mean, the one thing that could save him out of that is if he picks up Max. Finding Massa would definitely help him out right now.
Brottster saves at a junction there by the Marsh Cave. He's headed north to more key locked. Okay. See if he cuts to the right to check Northwest Castle. A little shortcut here, fans. Veteran move again from Brottster. Gonna check the key lock chest. Does not head to the last incentivized location or that he has for a vendor item. Russian Bishop is bypassing almost the room that is required. He's checking the old incentivized chest of the adamant, and he's going to do left side first, but he's on the right track, and he's checking chests.
So here's the thing that worries me, is Brock completely avoiding the on-rack area because he tells himself that I already went there and checked the mermaids, and then in his mind it's I checked everything that was there.
I've done it.
Oh, that'd be bad.
Mm-hmm. Brottster heads to the Dwarf Cave. Still out there, the Mazmoon. Both the Hanger Canuck and Artea's preferred endgame weapon. They want to see it. They want to see it bad. There's a third ribbon out there as well, potentially. But other than that, we've seen a lot of the gear that we could use. Then the dragon armor, of course, the Vorpal, and 2 ribbons. Brottster resets. He's headed back towards Canaria Castle and their 6-chest armory. Russian Bishop closing in now. He's about to find his second loose item, and it's the canoe. This will break open the game for Bish. He can start to make a move here, try to catch up to Brottster very soon. Both players with, Brottster with 3 orbs, Bishop with 2. Bishop has the canoe. If he turns around and goes, he will miss the Excalibur. It's just
Brat
south.
picking up mags in Canaria.
There it is.
So Brat has the best equipment that a fighter can equip. So basically, godlike equipment for any character pre-class change. Has picked up Excal as well for when he does class change, if he chooses to.
All right. We're at the 1 hour, 51 minute mark, and Brottster is headed towards key-locked Temple of Fiends. This is not a trap tile check. We know that for a fact.
Oh no, this is a desperate, I'm looking for an item thing, and I
Yeah.
really don't want to go to Onrak for whatever reason.
Whether it's forgetfulness or doesn't want to go, I don't know. But this tells me right here for sure.
This is a nice trap tile though, but
Yeah.
it would have been a nice trap tile if for gas fees wasn't a thing and you hadn't spent like if we weren't an hour and 50 minutes in.
The whack from Bishop takes out the eye. Level 21, 20, 21 again for Russian Bishop. Does he continue the checks? He's going to take the 4 free. He told me about how he watched this. He said, Will, I heard you do so many shows last year, and you talked about greed chest and the 4 free on the left. He told me this exact thing. Does he continue looking for a weapon? He does not. Russian Bishop's going to start stepping on it.
Well, he's found all the weapons he can possibly find though, so there's no reason on that.
I like this play from Bishop. He knows when it's time to go. He sees that timer ticking away. You can see it on your screen, closing in on the 2-hour mark. Bishop's going to heal up. He's closing in on the Bridge of Destiny. We did not see Warmack earlier. Brottster's already been through here.
That'd be a nice leg up on levels for Bishop if he could find a Warmack.
Do you ever skip a Warmack?
No. Unless I'm
Okay.
either single character, whether it's a black mage or a fighter, it doesn't matter, or I'm ridiculously low on spells and not confident in my ability to just auto-attack Tiamat to death. But that doesn't happen all that often.
This is a similar encounter table, but Brottster checked more chests and did more walking than Bishop did. Bishop's going to get the tail end of this encounter table potential.
Dear lord, he's going marsh key-locked.
Oh my.
At this point, it's not even I'm avoiding on rack because of reasons.
He doesn't know.
I really think I cleared it all out or something.
I think he forgot Waterfall. I left for a while, Arte. Remember that? I left for a while. I didn't play for a while and I forgot about it.
Inside, though.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That's true.
I forgot Waterfall as well, but he didn't even do Drakenside. He went to Mermaids and then peaced out.
Question from chat from Falcotic. There was at a point in time in the Earth Cave for 45 minutes. Brottster was dizzy, spinning endlessly. Brottster re-enters for a triple dip into Swamp, as the Hanker Canuck calls it. It is the Marsh Cave. He's headed for not trap tiles. He's got a mesmer. He's got everything he wants. He's looking for keylock chest. And at this point, it's very obvious. He's looking for the loot or the floater. He thinks it's loose. So we can definitely call that at this point. Allowing Russian Bishop to try to get back into this. Bishop taking on Tiamat. 3 hits for 142. He's trying to light his 3rd orb. As we tick near, tick, 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 the 2-hour mark. There's a nuke from Bish for 272. He finds that the Tiamat can't hit worth anything. It's Iron Hammer damage from Tiamat. Another nuke from Bishop into Tiamat. 184. Tiamat has perished. Russian Bishop lights his 3rd orb. He ties the orb count with Brottster now. Zombie Dragon trap tile for Brottster. He finds a cabin. Bishop is quickly out of there. He's back in his boat. He's gonna go right to Waterfall. Artea, he's going right there. Look at him.
Well, he's a wee bit away from it right now, but yeah.
It's a good route. He's up and right. Go right. Bish, go right. Good.
Yeah, it's a fair bit right, because now you need to go down and
back down.
Go back right. Yeah.
Brottster resets. Brottster's going back in his boat. Is Brottster headed this way?
So they're gonna enter Waterfall with about a minute between them. And it is still anybody's race right now.
Bishop is able to avoid the ice cave. If that bottle is the loot from the ice cave, it's a problem for Bish.
The difference we have right now is Bishop needs to go use that floater to turn it into an airship. And that leads him to the orb that he's missing, which is a bit faster than Brott's. Go back, kill Kraken, and then go back to the Crescent Lake area, pick up the airship, and then go pick up your loot, or go to Temple of Fiends, or whatever it is he wants to do. Probably class change for both.
I would think.
I would think as well. So I would say that Bishop might have a minute lead, maybe a minute and a half right now. Still anybody's race, but
Yes.
Slight advantage to Bishop, if you'd ask me, despite Brott's
Oh.
absurd levels.
Brottster bypassed the entire walk there. He knows it's the waterfall. Brottster has figured it out. You can almost feel him headed there. Bishop checked. Was there anything there? I missed it. Was that...
It needs to be loot from Robot, because
Okay.
apparently that was a floater in the caravan.
It was the float in the caravan. Okay, I looked away real quick.
I looked away as well. I'm
Yeah.
trusting Falconic in chat right now.
Okay, thank you, Falconic, the enforcer. Brottster loses one of his...
Apparently.
Brottster loses one of his light warriors to glare. Both players now are in the waterfall.
We have the slab translated, we got a bottle accessible. Odds of it being on Robot are not in these players' favor, but it still could be.
No.
Oh, Rod, don't forget the caravan, don't do this to me.
It is potentially the loot here. Power Gauntlet, Thor's Hammer.
Don't forget that the caravan is a thing.
Same encounter table, you see Brottster on the left side of your screen drew the 1-2 Nightmare tile. Watch the right side of your screen. You will see the 1-2 Nightmare tile from Russian Bishop momentarily, if I'm not mistaken. Potentially after the birds. I thought they were on the same encounter table. Multiple people calling for the Thor's Hammer in chat.
Oh,
It's
that
the
is
adamant.
Oh, no.
So we don't know. Of course not.
Oh, don't forget caravan. Because if
Bish
you
has
do, you're gonna hate yourself.
Bish has caught up to Brottster now. Brottster gets out of there, runs into some nachos. There's a nuke from Bish into the Ankleos. Ankleos are gone. Bishop picks up his adamant. Brottster's out of here. This is big, Artea. He's got to go left. He's going
He's
back
gotta
to
go
the
kill
sea
the
shrine.
squid first.
He forgot about the caravan item.
Well, maybe not, but he
Maybe.
does have to go kill the squid first.
This is big. We're past the we're almost to the 2-hour mark, fans.
This is well beyond the time that I would consider reasonable. Absolutely. Absolutely, we've all done it.
Well done.
Just as we've all forgotten the key going into Topher, we've all forgotten the loot, and we've all forgotten the cube at some point. Anybody who says he hasn't is either lying or hasn't played enough yet.
Yeah. Each and every person has forgot the cube. Every one of them, damn it. Every stinking one of them, I'm telling you. Every that's right.
Heck, I forgot the loot before.
Yeah.
That's the voice of our great restreamer. Thank you so much, Dark Moon. I know you're working on another match very soon. Everything you do to bring this great game to the fans. I mean, you had a conversation before this match got going, and we have a lot in common, and I thank you for all your contributions to bring this great game, the one that we love, to these great fans. Bishop is sailing the high seas. He's headed back towards Elfland. He is gonna sail back toward the island. It's not the way to go.
I don't know. Probably muscle
Volcano?
memoried his way back to Elfland. Now he's gonna go pick up his airship and go to Volcano because that's what he needs to do.
Oh, he wants the airship. Okay.
Might go class change first though.
Artea, there's the Vorpal for Brottster. They probably didn't see it. Who's winning? Who's winning this match? If it ended right now, who wins?
Bishop about 2 minutes late, maybe a little bit more.
Okay. Darkmoon, you've been watching this the entire time in the background. I want to ask your opinion. Same question. Mm. comment
We're
from
not there
Lemon.
yet, but
Comment from Lemon Kitsune. Welcome to the show, by the way. Thank you for joining us here on Randomania. As Brottster runs into some ghosts of the werewolves with Toxic. Yeah, they also have something as well called Death Touch, and they've met Brottster many, many a times. Bishop is in the ice cave right now. We do know that this is the bottle. He elected not to turn in the adamant that he picked up quickly to find out if it was the last remaining required item of the loot, except for the key. Where's the key?
cannot fault him too much for that one. He was in the general area, and Ice
Okay.
Cave isn't all that long.
Okay.
Compared to flying all the way to Earth Cave and then coming back, whatever. You can make a case for either of those things.
Key was in Ordeal, Castle of Ordeal, so he's still got that to do as well. Brottster made quick work of this Sea Shrine. He's closing in on Kraken. Bishop took out Kraken quite a while ago. There's the Blaze and the Eye Mages. Bishop just lost his Black Mage.
Because that is the point to make. In Bishop's mind, he still has Ordeals, he still has Ice, that are both incentives, and the turn-ins of the slab and the bottle and the adamant. So really, it's anybody's game at this point for where his item is going to be.
Bishop still without the Mystic Key. We know that that is located in the Castle of Ordeal. Brottster's led his fourth orb.
I did not see what happened to Bishop. Apparently, he wiped in the ice cave. I didn't see how, and I can't even imagine how it's possible.
Eye Mages. The Eye Mages ambushed him with Blaze, I think is what happened. Brottster's leaving without checking. Okay, the loot's airship locked. And he's leaving. Brottster's in big trouble now.
Oh, boy. Nope. Nope. Loot could still be adamant.
It could still be the adamant, you're right. This could be the game. 2 hours, 4 minutes. He's headed right there. That's why I would have gone and done this right there. I tell you, like the routing choice of Ice Cave, I would have found this, but his Bishop's closing in, he's going to get his bottle. Odds are not in the favor of it, but it very well could be. And that's a bridge sequence at 2 hours and 4 minutes.
That's alright.
And that's you, Artea. I see your name up there.
I don't. Yeah, it happened. I may have written a bit. Oh, there we go. And now he's gonna be pissed.
Loot is airship locked.
You're never gonna use that item, buddy. Why do you even care? Just reset, go to on rack, get your floater, go class change.
Is airship locked like we thought it was? Brottster checks his menu and resets. Now what? Look at him pause. Look at him.
Now he's in Winnie the Pooh mode.
Yes.
Think.
Yes.
Oh, bother.
Look at him stop again. Look at him think. He's literally talking to himself. I'm in Canada. I'm Brottster. I am Brott. Russian Bishop's trying to walk this bottle out of here. Bishop's headed back in the correct way. Excuse me, Brottster's headed back in the correct way. Bishop trying to get out of here. Very tense moment past the 2 hour mark. You've got to be staring at probably the IRC room, Artea. Just, is someone going to finish? We're past 2 hours. Brottster resets? Bishop is out. Bishop saves. Bottle, slab, and adamant in hand. 4 orbs lit for Brottster on the left side of your screen. Bishop still has to do the volcano. Bishop's going to Castle of Ordeal. No, he's not. He's going to class change.
I really hope he's not opening any more boxes, because he really don't have to.
Brottster's headed towards the caravan. It's the Oasis. He's headed that way. Brottster's going left. Runs into a stupid Ankleo.
Bishop still needs to clear ordeals, though.
Yes.
So it's can he class change and clear ordeals to pick up his key in the time that Brottster needs to go pick up his airship and figure out which one of the right turn-ins is the loot.
Brottster has figured it out. He's got to feel behind to see potentially rush anything. He's got a really strong fighter. We'd like to remind you that coming up in just a few minutes, Captain Nerd 2 is playing Ganon's Gone Wild. That's going to be over on Randomania 2. Certainly hope you enjoy that one as well. We got a whole bunch of other matches coming up for Final Fantasy Randomizer. Let's take a look at some of the action tomorrow. Very, very many matches. My personal favorite one that I want to watch is actually at 10 a.m. Eastern Time tomorrow. That'll be Saturday, March 21st. Wab, 10-24. He was 3-1 last year in the Swiss rounds going into his final match, and he ran into a red-hot opponent that knocked him down to 3-2, but surprised a lot of people, and I think he's going to go very far this year. He's playing Zenobian, my dark horse pick. Great matchup coming up 10 a.m. Eastern tomorrow, Saturday, March 21st. That will be on our sister network, the Speed Gaming family of networks, and that will be on Speed Gaming Prime. Brottster heads towards the Ryukon Desert to get his floater at the 2-hour 8-minute mark. He gets in the air. Heads directly south. He's headed towards Gaia. He needs to turn on that bottle. Is this potentially the loot to enter go mode? This Bishop still going through his menu here. You can see that little bit of, this is his first FFR match. He's redoing his inventory.
Throwing away so much time for no reason.
This will improve, yeah.
It will improve. It's just sad to see right now. Because he really doesn't have to, just like he really doesn't have to open all these boxes. But I mean, again, like starting out, probably not quite as confident as he could be.
Bishop's going to continue the Cardia Islands check. This is uncharted territory. He never found the Masmoon. The Masmoon's key locked, so that could be what it is that he's looking for. Brottster now is headed towards Lefane. What was the bottle?
My hammer! Woo!
Canuck hammer? Is that what? It was the Canuck hammer. This will be the loot. The floater, airship, canoe locked, everything locked. Loot is going to be in Lefane. Brottster will enter go mode at the 2-hour 10-minute mark with 4 orbs lit, a level 40 fighter. Masmoon.
Unfortunately, in all the time that Bishop spent menuing and opening cardio boxes, he could have gotten a key and a loot by now, but he's gonna look back and probably kick himself for that one.
There's the Masmoon equipped on Brottster. He likes that. Runs into a Tyro. Brottster's hungry, but instead he runs away. It was 50-50.
Brottster needs a class change. Not gonna have any spells. Not sure it's gonna make all that big of a difference.
Yeah, he's got a class change, I would think, if he wants the dragon armor and everything, which I would do. He's going left. I would have gone right, but that's okay.
I mean, I would certainly go class change just on the back of a dragon armor as well.
Right. Okay.
Dragon armor, opal shield, especially if you're going to keep both fighters up.
3 useless chests at the 2-hour 10-minute mark.
Yeah. Why? Forgot which one's the class change, probably.
There you go. Bishop is back in Canaria. He's doing some spell shopping as well. Bishop has got to get the Castle of Ordeal, get that Mystic Key into his turn-ins.
So let's just go for a quote that Brottster had going into this match. I haven't played since last April. So, he's gonna screw up stuff like which door is the class change.
It's true. We'd like to thank the Hangry Canuck. The Hangry Canuck is moving on from our broadcast tonight. He's moving on double duty. Thank you so much, Canuck. He is commentating Pleb and Groggy Dog right now. They're about to go live over on Speed Gaming 6. Good luck to both players. And Canuck, an honor to have you in a class act, my friend. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks. It was a complete pleasure, and I'll see you all later.
See you, Canuck. Bishop has entered the volcano, and he's Oh.
Spinning his wheels.
Yeah, both players have spun their wheels just a little bit right now. The attention goes to the left side of your screen. A very strong Brottster, very strong level-wise, 2-warrior party most of the game. Veteran move here from Brott, burning off some save items so he can line up his heal potions. He enters the Temple of Fiends Revisited 2 hours, 12 minutes.
I'm pretty sure Bishop just completely forgot that ordeals was his thing.
Might have, yeah.
That's a damn shame.
Last year with that big run in the front of the encounter table. Look at all that. He's going to run into the old Phantom Trap tile. It is shuffled shortly.
Crabcake's pointing out in chat that he hasn't done Lefane yet. He hasn't even translated yet.
No.
Oh, that is just... Oh, that's heartbreaking to see.
Brottster double checks. Yes, the door is still locked by the Mystic Key. He unlocks the last open door. Chimera and Chimera fight. He...
Showing off something that
Yeah,
some people might not know. There is actually a dialogue for locked doors. And that one is locked, even though it's completely impossible to get there without having the key.
Quick little fight here. It's going to level it is 38. Now for Brott the Knight.
And this is not a randomizer change. This is actually a locked door in vanilla.
Russian Bishop. There's a stun. Got through on that high level Knight. There's a Fire 3. Going to move on to another round here, but another Fire 3 should go ahead and take out these zombie dragons.
It should be fine at some point. It's incredibly unlikely that the Knight would get stunned.
So I gotta ask Artea, since you're the our expert here for this right now. He's going in with two warriors right now on this. I mean, I understand running them for most of the game because you want the experience dumped on there as you were explaining. But would you have brought your guys back up just to act as meat shields before you went into Topher?
Oh hell no. Takes too long to res them. Takes too long to give them commands, and they're just gonna die in about 3 seconds anyway. Not worth it. I'd rather just take a couple of fights and have an extra level on the other two.
Fair enough.
They're the only ones that matter anyway. At this point, I wouldn't be too worried about Brock running into any kind of trouble, except Kraken 2 can still look at you and decide to say no. That's a thing that he can do no matter what happens, even vanilla.
Kraken 2 can, he can knock out a fully kitted Opal Armored Knight.
Yep. If he wants to, he can one-shot anything in vanilla, and that is before you run into all manner of stat shenanigans.
Level 23, 24 for the Light Warriors of Russian Bishop. He's taking extra fights against these gas dragons. We know they're weak. On level 4, Agama tile. Brottster put the Mazmoon on Will, his black wizard. And I believe it's Excalibur that Brottster's using for his knight. That's pretty good.
He's gonna swap to Massa as soon as he reaches carry, because he's probably seen me do it a bunch of times. Because before that, having the 2 melee hits is really useful, but once you reach the seafloor, you really only want Black Mage casting, because it's mostly encounters that you want to clear a huge pack. So that having the 2 melee attackers isn't as useful as, say, fighting 4 Agamas or 4 gas dragons or whatever.
Brottster's starting to heal up as he takes on Carry 2. Just gonna attack. Excalibur, 379. Rub, not a chance. The Mazmoon, 271, not quite enough yet. We're going to the second round. Nothing from Carry and a nice 2. The Excalibur for 301. Does the Mazmoon finish Carry off? It does not. Critical hit. Carrie's got a couple HP here, 227. There's a nuke from Carrie.
And you see there having a bajillion levels on the Black Mage. You don't care about nuke. You just don't.
2 light warrior party, Artea. I think it's pretty good.
Yep.
A lot of heal pots being used up from Brottster. He couldn't get Carrie to go away quite that quickly. But he is healed up. He's onto the water floor.
Kinda wanna move Max there, buddy.
Maybe.
Did he ever pick up fast?
That was my question.
'Cause
I'm
he has
not
temper.
sure. He has temper, yeah.
Fast was in Melman, so he should have
It
picked
was. It was the first slot in Melmond. It's learnable by the Black Mage of all people. So, Excalibur takes out the waters. Bishop is back in the air. He's headed back towards the volcano. Texas, look at him stare at his screen, looking at it. The adamant, the slab, everything being there.
Oh, buddy, you wanna nuke that? Don't mess with lobster. Always respect the lobsters. Lobsters have absurd stats, and they will ruin your day.
Looks like they only rolled 2 hits. I didn't see a third. So that's good.
So you got 3 encounters in Temple Fiends that you really, really want to look out for. Seafood Party Mix, which would be that one. The waters, because waters are always scary no matter what. You get 7 packs of them in here. And then the vampires coming on the next floor. Any one of those can melee you for a truckload of damage.
Speaking of melee for a truckload of damage, it's Kraken 2. White shirt gets off for Brottster. He immediately is trying to defend himself. Kraken bashes. That was 7 hits for 500 damage. But Brottster's got 3 stacks of evade now. 6 will give him max evasion. White shirt again. That's a 4th stack. Kraken hits 1 hit for 95. Knight's down to 1D, and the Knight missed. The Knight missed. That was Excalibur, Artea. Oh, where's that Masmoon?
Could be a fluke. That was Excal. Mass is still on
Okay.
Black Mage. He never swapped, and he really should have.
Temper. Kraken bashes Will. Will buffs up Brottster. Brottster 2 hits for 133 now. More evasion from Brottster and attacking Excalibur 3 hits for 312. He breaks her with a critical hit. That's max evasion on that Knight now. Kraken misses. Excalibur again, 406 after 5 hits. Kraken misses Will. 2 hits for 22. Chip damage from Will. Fire 3 is going to be a chip damage, but not going to matter. Not even going to get to it. Excalibur got it done there. He's got to switch those weapons right now.
Well, the good news is they both made it past their audition for adult cartoons.
Yes.
And we'll see Tiamat.
Heal pots are low. That nuke earlier from Carrie when Brottster didn't quite kill her, take her down as fast as he wanted to, drained that heal pot stack a little bit early. As he moves on to Tiamat 2, runs right into it. Same strategy, defense, and white shirt it is. Once again, turn order goes in favor of Brottster. Tiamat attacks, bashes Will for 209. Brottster's going to continue with a power gauntlet.
Still with the Excal instead of putting mags on his Knight.
More white shirt. Tiamat misses. It's a free round for Brottster. He chooses for evasion and an attack. He wants to test it. 5 hits. I didn't see how much it was.
It was a couple of hundred,
Okay.
as I could tell.
260 after 5 hits. The evasion is not there, but the abs are okay. Nuke from Brottster for 254. A strike from the Excalibur. 6 hits. 228. Zap misses. Another free round. Brottster's really starting to get the hang of the fight of this, starting to take control of it. There's a nuke. Brottster in full out assault mode. 178. There's a fast from Tiamat. Excalibur.
As they're casting, you're happy. What you don't want to see are melee hits.
5 hits, 293, and a critical hit. A nuke from Brottster. The assault is on, and it gets through. The Echo of the Floating Fortress is now nearly complete. He's down to 15 heal potions. Make that 16. 13, 12.
Please put the mass on your Knight. Give me an aneurysm here.
Oh, he got a fight. He got ambushed. He got ambushed by rock galls. Miss. And 52. He's got to get away from this now. 51. 31. Failed to run. 27. And he gets away. No more fights for Brottster. He gets another one. It's heirs.
That
Brottster
was
gets away.
6 heal potions. Wasn't too bad, but it was 6 heal potions to make it to chaos.
Thank you, Canuck. Thank you, CC. Brottster is now on to the ultimate final battle. 6 heal potions left. There's 5. He's going to be able to fill up, it looks like. Now he's out. Gonna start switching some armor around? Nope. What about the weapon?
What are you doing? Brad, don't do this to me.
Defense sword and white shirt. Russian Bishop's trying to light his 4th orb. He's gonna take out Carry. Brottster with the same exact offensive strategy to come to this fight and play defensively. Chaos misses.
I mean, he's fine, but...
Power Gauntlet from Brottster. Another Power Gauntlet. More white shirt. There's nuclear. Chaos is radioactive. Does a lot of damage into Will. But Will's still standing strong. Brottster buffs up Brott, his leader, again with the Power Gauntlet. There's
really
ink.
needs to start swinging instead of just buffing. Like...
6 hits, 570. Another temper. Another round. Russian Bishop translates his slab now. That's the key to this game. 6 hits for 608. Does Chaos have any type of slow 2 options here? Maybe a Cure 4. We don't.
Cure 4 could put a damper on things, but he should be fine regardless. And the next melee swing should.
There it is. 879. Is this for the match? Zap misses. Brottster takes control with the Excalibur. 648 damage is good. Fans, get out your GGs and congratulations. Brottster moves to 1-0 in official SRL time. 2 hours, 22 minutes, 50 seconds. Dark Moon, you want to see if we can try to get him in here, sir?
Yes, sir. I am working on it right now.
Okay, thank you. And the fans, all the congratulations. Russian Bishop continuing on. He picks up his Power Gauntlet. He's got his slab translated. He's got 4 orbs. He does. Hangrit Canuck taking care of everything for us is now commentating another match over on the sister network of Speed Gaming. So all he has to do is turn in his slab in translation in Lefane. He will pick up his loot. Or he has not done... Has he done ordeals? Not sure. Bishop heads to the level 7 black magic shop, finds nothing. Again, Brottster takes this match here live on Random Mania. It was a tough match.
We're
Gold
joined now
bracelets.
by Brottster. Welcome in, sir.
How's it going?
Why? Please
That was
explain.
a good welcome back to playing this game, eh?
So I have to ask, why were you avoiding Onrak like the plague?
Honestly, it was a combination of like rust and trying to think of how many loose items there were and the possible combinations, and then just forgetting about the caravan.
Fair enough.
And then I felt I was pretty far behind, so I was trying to, as soon as I got a key item, I was like, okay, hopefully this gets me to the loot, so maybe it's a floaterless seed, and obviously it wasn't. And then on the way back to check those chests, I remembered that I had the canoe, and that the caravan was there, so that kind of... On top of it, what about those wolves? I think the wolf was just horrible.
Oh yeah, there was a solid case of Ruruds.
And then at that point when I was in the Earth Cave, I was just like, you know what? I'm stubborn. I'm very stubborn. I'm not leaving.
Yeah, Hangry had a few choice words about that one. He clicked and unclicked the crystal so many bloody times he didn't even know what to do anymore. He was like, do I click it now or do I just wait?
And then you guys were probably all like, no, don't go down. Don't get those 3 chests. Just go. But I went and checked them anyways, because I was already here, or already there, so...
A few times. I was playing the broad drinking game, so this was particularly entertaining for me.
How are you able to talk right now?
Experience. Years and years of experience.
Roadhouse!
Roadhouse.
Legends of League.
But yeah, I think this was one of the, I would say, in the bottom tier of easy seeds. Like, it's not a good way to get back into this game. I was hoping for just, a nice, easy, straightforward seed. get my feet
Nah.
wet, you know.
Nah. Have a space canoe.
No. And couple that with, you know, brain farts here and there, and you get a 2-hour plus seed.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna happen. It's fine. It was still. It was. I mean, I had fun watching it, so I hope that everybody else at home did as well. I had a few aneurysms. Like, why didn't you equip mags on your knight and Topher after carry? I didn't get it, but
I haven't played in a year.
that would explain a lot.
That's my excuse. I'm sticking to it.
Okay, fair enough. It was like that when you got there.
Well, I hope everyone was entertained. I apologize for, you know, going 2-hour plus, but as long as everyone had fun, right?
I mean,
Well, did you
everybody
have
had
fun?
We had a lot of close calls too. Like
Roadhouse.
for the longest time, it was really close between you and Bishop. Bishop made some unfortunate decisions near the end.
Oh yeah. I thought for sure I was going to get just destroyed. Bad, like poor decisions, like taking the long way places. I almost had to like select B a couple times in the ship.
Look, good old map of shame.
Forgetting forgetting about the ports. The new, they're not new anymore, but the ports that got added.
Yeah, no, that's definitely something that you can forget about.
But I had to give some love to the locked door and Topher.
I have no idea what Bishop's doing right now. Finding a T-Rex?
Not sure either.
I mean,
May
I
have forgotten about
any and all dinosaur hunting and steak eating, but
the T-Rex grind was good. I enjoyed that.
I gotta think Russian's just forgotten the last location.
No.
It
Oh
was
no, he never went to Ordeals.
Now he is. Up.
Oh,
Nope, turn around.
buddy, where are you
Oh,
going? You
Played
just
such a
flew
good
over
game
it.
too.
I
He
will
sees it.
say that
We'll take it.
the seed was a very difficult seed for locations of things. It just made no sense.
Okay, yeah, someone's gotta teach Russian where you can actually park that ship for the shortest walk.
Yeah, because of the 3 spots, that is the worst. But I mean, it's a spot. He's going to the right dungeon at least.
Brottster, it's Wilkliosis. Congratulations.
Well.
You are 1-0. No matter how it happened, 1-0, my friend. Congratulations to you.
Thank you. I guess I will need to practice a little more. You know, maybe at least 1 seed, not 0 seeds. But like I said, as long as it's entertaining, that's.
And Brottster, I thought I was going to be retired by the time you decided to leave the Earth Cave. What made you keep bashing your head into it? Was it the crystal? Was it stubbornness? What in the world was it?
20% stubbornness, 80%. I hope Artea's playing the reset drinking game.
Well, I certainly was. I'm sure my doctor's gonna have a few choice words about that one.
I apologize.
It's all good. My liver stopped talking to me years ago, so it's all good. Why did you at some point choose to go for the optimal 2-man party instead of wasting your time with 4 people? It took you a while to ease into it.
Well, you know, your character was very stubborn to die a few times.
You raised him at a clinic twice.
Misclicks, my friend. Misclicks. That's all I have to say.
All right.
And then resing hangry, and then remembering I didn't know where life was.
And then remember that I was locked to white mage only.
Yeah, and then it was just like, you know what? Yeah, I don't have any excuse. It was rust. That's all I can say.
That's
hopefully I'll get the kinks out of my game for the next round. And
well, we're gonna start a GoFundMe to buy you a can of CLR.
oh yeah?
Yeah.
Perfect. So I should actually tune into the stream here, see if.
Well, Bishop is making his way through ordeals to pick up the key, which is the last thing he needs. He picked up his airship a fair bit before you did, but then spent a bunch of time opening chests he didn't need to, or just menuing he didn't have to do, and then probably forgot that ordeals existed for a while.
Yeah, and hopefully he didn't do what I did and check, the locked marsh chests before finding the key
He
item.
did not. Nor did he have a 40-minute death montage of Earth Cave. He actually went to Sky Castle first, but died. However, he did pick up the ribbon before going to Earth Cave, so he had that going in, and a little bit of a level advantage on you. Like, he was maybe 1 or 2 levels under what your 2-man was at that point. But he had 4 party members.
Oh wow!
Receiving word from behind the scenes that we are over time right now here on Randomania. We are. I know. So we're gonna go ahead and move on. Our restreamer was supposed to start a little bit ago, actually, over on Randomania 2. It is Captain Nerd in action against Ganon's Gone Wild. We certainly suggest you fans tune in over there. That's twitch.tv/Randomania2. Should you want to see any more action from Randomania, randomania.net. There's a calendar that you can click on. It has all the games, participants, everything that you might want to take a look at. Right now, we're going to move on to final thoughts. Our winner tonight, Brottster, number 1. Welcome back. Final thoughts on tonight's match.
No comment. I'll do better next time there, folks, I promise.
I don't know how you could have been much worse, Brottster. I love you. I'm sorry. But number 1,
once upon a time I was pretty good at this game. Once upon a time.
Brottster, thank you.
Thank you for commentating. I appreciate you both.
You're the reason that we're here.
I hope you guys will continue to do it.
Couldn't let you down. It's certainly an honor and a pleasure. You're a wonderful man, a wonderful player. I look for you to take it far in this tournament. You can really only go up from here, in my opinion. So,
Oh. Wow.
We'll get right on that.
Russian Bishop has entered the Temple of Fiends. We're going to check with Dark Moon real quick. Are we able to host him? Do we have that power, Dark Moon?
No.
Okay. Artea, this was a lot of fun. We don't really know each other very well. I've certainly watched and studied you so well. I know you've heard me blab on so much. It was a real honor and a pleasure, and I really appreciate you working with me, and I enjoyed it.
Likewise, I certainly had a lot of fun. Not gonna say that I'm gonna have a repeat on the whole Brottster drinking game, but it was certainly a very entertaining evening.
Great run from Bishop.
It was good.
Player. It's a pleasure, boys.
Great run from Bishop. He is in the final dungeon. We think that he's going to make it through. I'm going to jump over there, and I'm going to support him and watch him personally. We'd like to thank Dark Moon X taking care of all this. He's moving over to work on the match. They are waiting on us right now on Randomania 2. Thank you to you, Artea, one of the greats, the greatest of all time, if you ask me, for joining me in the booth right here. And congratulations to Brottster. For the Hangry Canuck, Dark Moon X, our players, Brottster, Russian Bishop. My name is Wickliosis, along with Artea, and we remind you to revive the power of the orbs.